Button is pushed. Audio? Am I soft? Hold on, let me reposition this. Hello, hi, how you doing? All right, that sounds like a normal sound wave.
I mean, yeah, you're in the yellow for me.
Okay, we're goo.
We goo.
Sometimes I just when I'm leaning over to look into my second monitor for the sound wave, sometimes it's a little soft. Hello, everybody. Hi, I see there are like 5 or 6 of you who are waiting. Good job, everybody.
I'm glad you're here.
All right. So, while Lucky futzes with the character, I will remind everybody immediately this episode is brought to you by patrons, which include Adam DeHarbacher, Comics, Games, Architect, and Books, G. Carlos, Quad, Dragon Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Boss, Under Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rogue Rob, Sharvor, Shiny P, some guy named Bob, and Saturday 23. And if you like what we can do, want to do more, consider supporting Patreon. You get access to episodes early on some other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for your support. Close that tab. Howdy, Loth. Loth, are you winning test games?
I'm gonna say no, because otherwise he probably wouldn't be here.
I don't know what those guys are doing. Are those guys still all there? No, they're all still in there. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Dallas was like, "Do you want to do some test games?" And I'm like, "No, I have to do What's Up in like 30 minutes."
What
people? We got things. We got viewers.
What is the hair that says Lucky? Usually Lucky is a fan of a slick ponytail.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll work.
So in case you can't tell by the screen with the logo, Lucky has Terraria pulled up right now.
Yeah, I do. My hair black as midnight. My eyes red as blood. That is not... Nope, that's white!
And I'm sure Lucky will be able to explain as soon as he's done filling the color palette what's going on in Terraria. But this is What's Up. This is our show about stuff, things. Excuse me, sorry, got a burpee. Ate pizza just before this. Stuff and things. It's about things that go on in the week. We got a few things to talk about. Video game stuff. Some other stuff. Lots of stoof.
No, we good on that stoof.
Like how many fun ways you can say stoof? Is this funny to you? Are you not entertained?
I'm super entertained.
Yeah, we got a couple of little lifey bits and bobs and some other stuff, I think, to mention. For instance, I've been having an interesting... I realized there was a very easy way to keep my thumb on the pulse of gaming, which was YouTube keeps recommending me just uploads from the PlayStation YouTube channel. I'm like, wait, why are we not subscribed to the PlayStation YouTube channel?
This is a very good question.
So I did that. So yeah, I have a lot more trailers in my sub feed now, many of which are interesting.
Yes, huzzah!
Yeah, so I think there was a couple of little things that popped up over the week while you were not recording What's Up. That's right, the week is recorded into the 3 or 4 hours we record What's Up, and then none of that.
None of that.
But there was an announcement that we're going full beans on Destroy All Humans.
Apparently.
You're just moving right along to Destroy All Humans 2 remake. That's pretty cool. Like that game a lot. And I had a lot of fun with the remake of the original. Which was not even really remake, just we remastered all the assets for like 3 extra generations of tech or whatever. 2.5 probably. Anyway, yeah, so I had a lot of fun with that. I played some of it on stream a couple of times because I'm a big fan of Destroy All Humans. So seeing 2 getting that treatment will be pretty good, but honestly, it's fairly normal. Like the you know, they're calling it what Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Pretty normal.
Yep.
It's coming to PS5. That'll be even more high def. So that'll be neat. Probably stream some stuff because it's a pretty casual, fun game to play. But otherwise than that, I'm pretty okay with that. Let me see, can I just go straight to PlayStation's thing? Were there any other interesting trailers? There were a handful of stuff. All kinds of weird things popping out. But yeah, it's just a good thing I realized. I'm like, oh, hey, I can follow those guys.
You know, it's good.
And then they'll give me the news.
I checked out a couple of them myself, but...
Nothing really super jump out to you?
No, the one named, the title, The Outcast 2, got my attention. It looked a little interesting, but also kind of looked kind of meh. It was a mix between the two. Like I said, I didn't really necessarily see anything that.
Yeah, I mean, not every will be a zinger.
Yeah. Oh, one that actually no, one that did. Fuck, what was it? I can't remember the name of it, but it looked like it involved some fucking dark fantasy rodents. What the fuck was it called? It was like Tales of something.
Tales of Iron. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it in the history list.
Yeah, no, I saw that one. I'm like, okay, I'm actually
That
kind
apparently just launched.
Yeah, no, that one looks good for me. I'm like,
By the way, I remembered what game it was that trailer was. It's called Dream Cycle. It's kind of a first-person explory type looking kind of a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously got like a dream world kind of a thing. It's from the guy who headed up the original Tomb Raider series, but it's still in early access, so I'm kind of like, I'll wait a little bit.
Can wait.
But the trailers look kind of like psychedelic and fun stuff. It's got the old first person with magic stuff, so it's alright looking. You know, just want to remind people because I was like, oh shit, what was that game title that I saw this trailer for? Who knows? Who's that one?
Squirrel. Yeah,
There was another interesting thing that YouTube recommendations scooched to me. Which was, sorry, I have Terraria pulled up but muted. I was trying to click on join via Steam button and that does nothing. Okay, Terraria.
Thanks,
This is something Terraria has always been a little fidgety with. Let me see if I can get into friends join.
Yes, give me the good shit. This chest, it's my chest.
Do I play as Rando Cardrician, who clearly hasn't gone anywhere? He has 100 HP and 40 MP, so I guess technically I got some MP crystals, that's about it. Or do I make a whole new character?
I made a whole new character because my other character is Lucky, and he's not a final content, but he's up there. He got some shit, as we like to say in the biz. Let's see, what was the button for? Was it F? No. Alt? No. There's a button you can just hold that puts your fucking light in. Actually, let me setting.
Yeah, we're not gonna remember any of the controls.
Let's see here. Inventory, volunteer, jump, auto select, interact, throw, toggle journey powers. None of that here.
And now I just healthily slam the randomize button for a little bit.
Alright, well, fire. Hey!
This is the true power of Rando Diamond.
Oh, sweet! I got a neat, perfect.
I believe he is the fourth Rando.
It's dark. Problem solved.
We'll attempt to join.
The attempt will be made.
Interesting. It says the server requires a password.
The password is tyranny.
Oop. Lost connection. Let me try that again. This is always, once again, this has always been our weirdest part of the old Terraria, is actually doing the lugging in.
I'm going down. I'm going too down.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna do a meme edit about what was it about involving Reader Repulsor and after 10,000. It was a Tombo joke, wasn't it?
It wasn't. Oh god, what was
it? Was after 10,000 years I'm finally free to conquer arts, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'll have to remember to make that shit post later.
All your chests are belong to me.
Spelling correctly.
Oh, these are both connected. Neat.
Weird. I cannot join you. Every time I try to do it, just throws out lost connection.
Oh man, I better not have some weird ass port forwarding bullshit happening. That happens on occasion.
Yeah. Also, Terraria is. We love this game. Terraria is kind of old if you think about it.
Fucking gnomes!
When it originally was released on Steam, you couldn't even do join via Steam or friends, right? You had to do the old IP trick. like join via IP and all that stuff and set up the networking.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot smoother, obviously, since it's been doing that stuff. And I notice, I think this is relatively new. There's a workshop button, for instance, to get mods and stuff. But like, there's still occasionally some wrinkles.
I am defeated by height.
Let me double check my settings. No. No, I don't really think any of my settings are related to this one for me.
I could try I wonder if I can get a direct invite here. Let me.
Yeah, you may be able to invite me.
Invite to launch, invite to lobby, maybe? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try that.
I don't remember how Steam works.
What Russian wants in this?
Terraria.
Yeah, let's see.
You may have heard a button. Accepted.
Oh,
Yeah, every time I try to enter the password, lost connection. Unless you've misspelled tyranny.
Wouldn't they just tell you if there was a wrong password?
I honestly don't know. But no, that's my step. That's my step. I get to enter password and it stops. Which is wacky, wild. Let's see. Well, let's not bog the people down too much with fiddling with that. It's obviously here to explorify. I may go Google, you know, Terraria, try to join lost connection, see if there's any obvious. Oh, you need to have Fleetloops turned on, and I'm like, what the fuck is a Fleetloop? And nobody knows, but it's the setting.
I love this already. This is clearly one of the new items, but I got a fucking finch staff. I use it. There's a bird just nesting on my head now. I'm like, yes,
Adorable.
This is the content I signed up for.
A lot of vanity stuff. There was another interesting trailer. I guess this is. When was this posted, actually?
Ah!
Yes. Yeah, this was recently, August. So I was. This is apparently a thing that seems like I'm gonna guess Bandai Namco, since their channel posted, is doing, but releasing some 4K Blu-rays of some stuff. I was shown a trailer for a 4K Blu-ray of the original Ghost in the Shell. That's nice. That's pretty. Will you release over here? Who knows?
Oh, actually, that does remind me. Apparently, during this next core, they're going to be releasing a fucking, I don't know why, a compilation film for 2045. So, and apparently they said it'll have some additional scenes. I don't know what that means, but you know that's just what they like to do with fucking compilation films.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So we're gonna do kind of what it sounds kind of what like Psychopaths did, where they had an extended cut of the first season with extra scenes and dialogue and stuff. I suspect there was not an extended cut of the follow-up seasons because they weren't as good. Boom. Said it. We all think it.
Man, we're real close to a desert. We're real close to a desert.
Well, better than being real close to Corruption and or Crimson.
Well, the Corruption and Crimson are literally set at a specific distance from the starting point. Oh, wait, it's an oasis. Neat. Ah, shit, I'm drowning. I hate not having everything.
Interesting. Do I not have the latest version? Oh, Lucky, did you set it to journey mode? Is that my problem?
No, it's on expert mode.
Okay. That's just wanted to double check. I'm literally running through the thing. Ensure there's no version mismatch, and for I have the latest version. Well, I think I have the latest version, but it's hard to tell with Steam sometime.
Get him, bird! Fuck yeah! Look at that!
Here,
Look at that! Look at that fucking
Close to Terraria.
Get him! Get him!
All right.
Fuck your shit up.
Dear Steam, where the fuck is a button to check for updates?
Good job, Finch. Good job, Finch.
That should always be a button.
Rest
check
on my
for
head.
updates.
Wait, no, you get it. There you go. Get back on my head.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my version is the latest, but, you know, I'd love if I could have an easy way to check. Always keep this on my
Alright, I guess it's getting dark.
Verify integrity.
Alright, I have done nothing to prepare for fucking zombies, so
Rip.
I'm gonna go... Hide...
Hide in a hole?
Yep.
The classic hidey hole move.
Mm-hmm. They'll never suspect it.
Well, that's a nice tree. A little special tree.
Okay, if both of you are getting it, it has to be something on my end. But I don't know what it'd fucking be, though. That's the thing.
Did you make sure you have the latest version of Terraria?
Let me...
No, I think you said you did a fresh install, so that would automatically be it. I found a quick guide. It's basically make sure everybody has the latest version. Make sure there's no version mismatch. Check the integrity of my game files, which is what I'm doing right now. Then there's make sure you have a journey file, and then worst comes to worst, uninstall, reinstall, which will probably mean that you will not be seeing me in Terraria for a while.
Okay, let me see here. So, let me save and exit here. Yeah, so multiplayer, host and play. That's me. Tyranny Kingdom. Steam
Awesome.
multiplayer enabled. Allowed users. Friends. Allows friends and friends off. Start. Server password. We don't need no fucking server password.
Yeah, you're only allowed friends of friends.
So I'll try without the password. Alright.
My files are almost validated, so I'll just open it back up after that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, seriously, Steam, what the fuck? There's like, I don't even know. Like, they're like, oh, check your version. I'm like, how? Where? Hold on, let me look at this guide. Let me look at this guide and let me annoyedly mute.
Oh, hey, Aresh got in. I
my own
wasn't.
server. Okay, so maybe it was the password hangout.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to mute my own Discord server for 24 hours.
People are animals.
Ooh, okay. One file failed to validate and will be reacquired. Okay.
You said there was something.
So I might have had a file missing or some whatnot.
Aresh, it's about to be darkness. The zombies cometh.
Did you get it? Okay, I got it. I will now attempt that. Fire up Terraria. We're going to hope that even though I closed it, my volume mixes still has it low. Okay. Just because I don't want to distract anybody in the audio version any more than us already troubleshooting Terraria for 15 minutes has been distracting you with like Terraria music and sounds. But also the muting thing is just that's a me thing. Like all over the Loth, your invite animals. I'm gonna clean them all up. Loth is here. I can yell at him. So many invites. Oh my god. It's for EDO Pro, not for Terraria. Though we could make Terraria. It's multiplayer. Join via Steam? Okay, alright. I clearly had a file problem, yeah, because I literally I could not access my join via Steam menu.
Ah.
Yeah, but Dallas isn't here, you are. So I'm gonna invoke the transitive property and yell at Dallas through law. But no, I like to I always forget this, but I like to mute our Discord server when we do stuff because it can get so distracting getting a little red window pop and I'm like trying to juggle windows and stuff. I am now requesting information. Let me close that extra tab. Hello.
Hello, it is nighttime. Prepare to die.
Rando Diamond is green.
Green diamond seems sexy.
Just have axe and my weapon. That Zombo has a torch on a bone? Or is his hand that long? They've done a lot over the years making these Zombos have so many different sprites.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess everyone's ready for, hoping for Lucky to not do anything because I don't know about you, but my first night in any fucking of these games is always just get a fucking box.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a box right now. I don't think you made the box. I think Aresh made the box. I'm going to stand in the box for a little bit and we're going to talk through the podcast. Because this is also a podcast. It's not just me and Lucky hiding holes. Well, technically I'm not in a hole. I'm in a box.
But yeah, so things to talk about this week. Oh,
Well, we haven't really explained why, perhaps, we are playing Terraria.
I mean, I don't know.
As opposed to why you're not grinding more through Bloodstained, which may be another conversation you want to bring up now.
Oh yeah, no. Well, actually, no. I know what I'm gonna preface this at because if you guys follow me on Twitter, you might not. I recently did a cleanup, and by cleanup, I literally went and got a third-party app and basically purged my entire Twitter. Reasons being that is I realized something is like I'm not ashamed of fucking retweeting a lot of tits and ass, but I came to the realization that my retweeting of tits and ass might be preventing me from actually getting seen, I guess the best way is to put it. And on a variety of ways, because I usually just retweet like so much art that anything that I actually might genuinely say might just get lost. People who have like sensitive materials like turned on, you know, won't get to see my my Twitter and stuff. So yeah. I was like, oh, excuse me. So I was like, oh, okay, I can live with, you know, separating the two. So
this happens fairly often to some people. I, for instance, know a lot of people who back in the day would split themselves into sober and drunk Twitters. But I know a lot of people also have safe for work and not safe for work Twitters.
Yeah. So I did a little bit. So I did a little bit of finagling. I actually like changed my Twitter handle and whatnot. I gotta actually remind Omega to change things on whatnot. But I changed my Twitter handle and then I made a second one. You can actually do this pretty easily. Fun fact: if you have like a Google account or whatever account, usually you can make secondary accounts that sound like pretty the same. Like I have a secondary account with my usual email, but if you put like a plus at the end of it, it doesn't actually count the plus, and any emails that would go to the plus account will actually go to your standard account. But you can use the plus account to like get more Twitter accounts. So yeah, so I have a full-on second Twitter account, and that one's a Lucky Terabits EX, where I basically just unfollowed all the big not safe for work artists on my main account, put them all over there, and enjoying stuff over there. This isn't to say that I'm not gonna retweet my wife who's on my main account, because you got to stand what you like.
Yeah.
But as I like to put it, it will be tasteful waifu appreciation.
Yeah, you're gonna contain the safer workness. I understand. I myself follow that policy where I don't retweet or sometimes even heart stuff that's like really spicy for the comfort of everybody potentially reading and or making sure my thing isn't absolutely flooded. But I'll retweet a swarm of fan art. I do also try, and I've been thinking about making sure to get out there and post stuff from me a little more recently to actually like get my thoughts out occasionally. I go through these spurts where I'm like, I don't tweet as me enough. And then I tweet for a little bit, and then I go back to like, I don't have anything to say. I'm just gonna post. I'm gonna just retweet images of girls.
Like I have plenty of things.
Some fun stuff.
Like this is one of the things I realized. Like I have plenty of things to say. Usually, it's just, again, they would usually just get lost in my deluge of tits and ass, or I'd regret what I said like 5 minutes later and just delete it. But no, like something that I actually got, like, because things I wanted to tweet, I actually wanted to tweet me like playing games, you know, memes and all that crazy stuff. I just want to go I do retweet a lot of porn. Yes, I do. And I still retweet a lot of porn. It's just on a different account. I actually had to Alright, there's a lot of zombies here. Don't come here. Don't come here.
No.
Oh, you're blocking me in here with them.
Arash has arranged a door.
What are you doing, Arash?
Oh, auto doors. That's right. That's a thing now. Thank God. It was always so annoying. Is it better to have Terraria pulled up on my set? No, I have to turn my head weird. I'll leave it on the main monitor.
Arash is doing something. Oh, I guess making a path to me, I guess.
Aresh is big on containment. I'm big on standing in a hole corner of the house.
I guess
next to the
I'll
guy
leave.
Who's named Steve. I mean, I don't know if Aresh is following this. We are playing Terraria, but the primary purpose is not necessarily to play Terraria.
Yeah.
For players playing Terraria, we're here to have it on the background as we think.
Mhm.
Yes, that may mean we occasionally have to stand in corners as we go do other stuff, but we have powerful options of the whatnot.
Of the whatnot.
You know,
I'm blocked
around. Where was it? You were talking about your Twitter split. Yeah, it's something I kind of follow. Like I know some people who are very horny on me on Twitter, who I follow, and it's occasionally bothersome, even in the privacy of my own home, to just be like, all right, so I can't scroll like 5 times without seeing a boob, but I get over it. I have other tabs, so but I understand how like that can have problems for other people. I know there are people on our Discord who forget about our not safe for work channel and open it in public like a maroon. No, Loth, you haven't seen me on stream yet. I am literally in a corner of the house waiting for this nighttime to fucking end. Christ.
Death.
Oh, hey, Lucky.
A flying gobble got me.
Yep. Oh, you got to respawn. There you are. Hi.
Yep. You're green.
I told you, I'm very green. Rolled some dice.
See, Aresh immediately started building his stuff. This makes me like, yeah, no, that clearly means I'm gonna have to go build what I want. Way the fuck somewhere else.
Well, I think in this case, this was just the, oh, hey, we've spawned. Here's the house to hold the spawns. That's pretty typical. I think most of the Terraria servers we've done, we've built a hutch at the spawn point, so you don't die immediately.
Don't die.
Stabbing ladybugs now. They're in my way. Can I? It's out of actual inventory menu to scroll wheel. I'm gonna chop some wood while we talk. But yeah, so you switched your Twitters. It's not that hard. I've had the linked Twitter accounts for a long time, obviously, to run our studio account. He's also linked to that one. It's not quite the same thing as redundancy, but it's similar. On the studio Twitter, I am much more careful about what we retweet. Try to be. We both forget sometimes. Or sometimes we get defaulted weird.
I really do hate it sometimes when I will switch to... For some reason, occasionally on my phone, Twitter will just automatically switch to the studio account, especially if like something like get recommended and stuff. And I'm just like,
yeah, it's so that I don't like about the Twitter phone app. I have that problem too, where like if you get like an alert or something, and it's like, oh hey, you want to check this out? You can get switched over to your other account, and then you're like, whoop, shit, gotta remember to switch back before I do anything on my phone on Twitter.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a pain, but Lucky's going underground. Wait, where's my bird?
Oh, everything's nice and organized. You probably have to resummon your burb since you died.
That's true. Yes. But I have burb on head. Burb on head
Dear slimes, I'm attempting to chop down some trees, okay? You have a problem with this, guys?
Yeah, fuck him up, bird. This bird's great. I love it.
It's hilarious because there's a bird also on my screen, but it's not your bird. It was a normal cardinal. All right, I'm gonna get killed by slimes. There's like 50 of them here. Aha! You guys missed my hole. You can't fit in the little hole. Actually, they seem to have only so much distance they can jump. So yeah, nope. One of them slipped in. I thought I could punch him before he'd. Alas, I am dead.
Yep, Randall Diamond was murdered by blue slime.
Yep. That kind of underestimates it. There were like 5 of them, so saying it was only 1 seems like a little bit of an understatement there. Let me sort through my image. I found some iron in the hole. I got a shitload of acorns. Let me... Also, some wood. make like a hat, a wood hat to keep me safe.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can do that.
A wood shirt. I mean, it's only like +1 armor, but you know, you can get a little bit.
I have a little
Although
bit.
I am wood. These slimes are persnickety. Wait, can I make a wooden sword? Do I have enough material? I have a normal-ass wooden sword. It does 1 hole more damage than my copper short sword, but it has a bigger swing zone. Good old basic bitch Terraria.
No, I'm glad to be here. Ooh, this is a fuck ton of clay.
Yeah, fun. I like clay. Makes fun things. And I do think, listen, Starbound's cool. I think Starbound went a little hard on the procedural generation and whatnot stuff. It's cool, but it's like it's always been hard to get into because you never know what the fuck you're gonna get, right?
Right.
Whereas with Terraria, you almost always like the game is hiccups. The game is designed to spawn you in a normal ass woods biome. Now there's some other backgrounds. Technically, I think we're in kind of like a mountainy type biome. That's why there's so much stone and stuff around us, and there's a separate background. Oh yeah, that's right. I killed a shitload of slimes. Like torches. Look at that. But like you know where you're gonna spawn. There'll be zombies at night. There'll be slimes during the day. Carve trees, get stuff, go in holes, you know. And then if you explore a little further afield, you can find some special stuff. So it's very easy to figure out what your starting pattern is and kind of build from there, which is very important to Terraria because it is. Hey, Ground Lucky.
Hey. I found an abandoned house. I'm gonna raid it.
Cool. I'm gonna make a sick waterfall.
Do it. Live your best life. Gold chest! Booyah! Magic mirror and an extractinator.
Ooh, a magic mirror this early. That's very handy.
There's a picture of the goblin in the fucking mechanic. That's great. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, the art is they added so much little art asset. It's adorable. The magic mirror though is a pretty essential item that is very good to get early.
No, I am blessed. But speaking.
Oh shit! Are they? So are we near the ocean or do they add palm trees to the normal ass desert?
You might be near an oasis.
Ooh, then that's what this is. Yeah, there's a water pool here. There's some reeds growing out, and there's some palm trees like right here in the desert. That's nice. I love that little detail. Also, like you gotta check out this oasis. Look how fucking high def these trees are. They sway in the wind. It's sick.
I know. I was in that life earlier. Let's see.
I'm gonna chop one single tree down as a souvenir. Alternatively, I'm gonna live here. Okay, so acorns make more palm wood, so I can fix that. And there's like a fucking heat shimmer. It's great. Hold on, there's a fucking antlion here. An asshole. But what I was gonna say about it was that the standard items and stuff are pretty essential to Terraria because of its vague Castlevania-ish nature.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that I think I really like about Terraria is just its Castlevania nature of, you know, you gotta get the thing to get to the next boss and you gotta upgrade your items and stuff. Starbound has a little bit of that, but it doesn't have like, it's not all that.
No, Starbound has like a couple, it has some vague framework of like, hey, build X to get to this, to do this thing, to actually like unlock the next phase of the game, but it's mostly just not needed. You mostly just fuck around and do whatever. Minecraft kind of has that with like, you can only hit certain items to do certain things, and like you go through the dimensions. Some of that was later though, but Terraria is like way more, I would say, like in that vein. Like everything is about the progression. Like you know, you literally can only go so far with your starting, you know, copper tools or whatever, and move on from there. And it's pretty good. And it you know, it definitely scratches a classic itch.
All right, let's see here. Yep, I will now become wood.
It's an excellent choice. God, HP regeneration seems very slow. I mean, I guess it's a take a second. Okay. That's not that bad. I guess the icon is just very tiny.
What, I can
Oh,
make
is that a fucking scorpion? Sir, excuse you. Get out of here. No scorpions in my new Oasis shack, please.
I can build a grate, I can build a chain, cooking pot, all this stuff.
Oh, hey, a palmwood sword is slightly better than a regular-ass wooden sword. Neat.
The things you learn.
Palm armor is not any better than wood armor.
Oh, I can't stab them through the fucking... Okay. This is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Alright. Let's see.
So we talked about the Twitter reorg. Well, oh, I mentioned Bloodstained earlier. That was supposed to be like a funny haha segue. Because we were talking about how Metroidvania this is.
Yeah, ooh, a reinforced piston pole.
Because that does also tie into your Twitter, because I've seen you've already been posting some Bloodstained clips and stuff and talking about it on Twitter.
Yes. So... Oh... So I kind of have to apologize to everyone. I'll apologize again on Monday, but I've been kind of an animal on this game, and I have been grinding almost relentlessly since yesterday. Oh god, do I actually what? Actually, can I pull? I'm gonna pull up some stats. Let me pull up some stats.
He's gonna pull up the numbers.
I gotta pull up the numbers. Everyone loves numbers. Numbers quantify things in tangible ways. Alright, so I got a fishing pole, I got a bow now. I'm waiting for this fucking I'm waiting for my PS5 to boot up.
Boot.
While I empty my inventory of stuff.
Oh, while Lucky's doing that, speaking of the PS5, I will also mention I did order Deathloop. I wanted to make sure it stayed in stock before I got it, because I was pretty sure I was going to get it. Unlike, for instance, if I wanted to get into Tales of Arise, I would probably have to buy it digitally or something, because it is sold out on Amazon right now, or it's got the old look for other sellers, so that game's doing well for itself.
Yeah, I think it's officially sold over 1 million copies, I believe it was. Yeah.
But yeah, so I have ordered Deathloop. It should be here sometime early next week. Now I have to make sure I beat up the old Skyward Sword, which I might... Because I think I'm decently okay at it. Like, I'm decently far. Shockingly, for me... Actually, no, not that much. I think it actually speaks to the game design elements. I haven't needed to walk through anything on Skyward Sword. It's been fairly self-explanatory. I think there was one thing I was like, hold on, I think I may have missed an explanation or something. What the fuck am I doing here? But, like, it's mostly been pretty, like, no, it's fairly obvious you need to do this thing. Just doing this thing might be slightly clunky because, boy howdy, we really designed this around motion controls. That is, like, I love the Wii to death. It's great. So accessible, lots of fun. I can't say that I miss motion control shovelware type stuff. Like, that was a unique Nintendo Wii problem of like, we have motion controls. That means we can do something funny. Oh no, it's bad. But I am progressing in Skyward Sword. Like I said, I think it was on Let's Talk. I am at a point where I am at the acquiring the third thing of the first 3 things you acquire, after which I presume there will be 4 things you need to acquire, and hopefully not like 7, like A Link to the Past was my joke. Because, boy, how do you get to do a lot of dungeons in Link to the Past? I think overall, I definitely still prefer Breath of the Wild so far to Skyward Sword. I don't think Skyward Sword is bad. I just feel like, a lot of the... There's a lot of, like, clunky work with, like, the motion controls, and like even when you don't have to do motion controls, you can control it with the right stick. It's like, oh my god, to sword fight this guy, I have to like get out my fucking right stick and do the attack in the right direction and stuff. It's it's interesting and high detailed and all that stuff,
Mm.
but it's also like it's not necessarily what I want from a Zelda game. I don't necessarily want to think about how precise my swordsmanship is, because I think Skyward Sword is the only game where that's a thing. I mean, I guess there are technically there's a couple of interesting commands you do in Twilight Princess with the Wiimotes, but that's it because it was also a GameCube game. That's not necessarily required. It's all about certain inputs.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword was, built from the top up for motion controls. You needed a little plug-in and everything, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but did you really need me to have to, like, push the thrust button to thrust my sword into the dial and manually turn it every time? Okay.
Okay.
All right, it's what we're doing. Okay, we're fine. It's not that much of a hassle. It's just, like I said, it's slightly clunkier as opposed to, Breath of the Wild where they didn't do a lot of this stuff, and it's just like, yes, push A button like normal.
Okay, so oh wait, let me get to at least a semi-safe spot here.
I'll have to sit in chairs. I can't. All right. Audience, you should be glad you can't see my perspective. In my palm tree house next to my oasis, I am sitting in my chair. I am not moving until daylight.
But okay, let's see here. Should have got. So I'm gonna show. I need to. Okay, here it is. Because I'm gonna copy this image.
Yes.
Shit.
I see that Lucky has posted it to Twitter. I will retweet it from the studio account for comprehensiveness. So you can check our Twitter at StudiOmega with 2 O's, YT. I'm sorry the branding's not consistent, but we take what we can get sometimes.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to show this because it basically shows I kept 2 save files. One is the save file from when we ended last Monday, and the other one is where I'm at right fucking now. So as you can see, if you're looking at the screenshot, I have put in 11 hours and have almost doubled the amount of monsters I have killed the entire fucking game.
Yep. And like I said, you posted a clip of basically explaining what the grind process is, which is go into a room, shoot a laser beam, leave the room, come back, shoot another laser beam.
Yes. It was all that. And I have leveled, like, let's see here, 16 levels since then? Like, I think you only need to be, like, level, like, maybe 50 to beat the game. And I'm, like, level 59 right now. And I don't even want to get started on all the shards.
Sort of nice.
I don't want to get into, like, necessarily get started on all the shards that I have got up to, rank 9, grade 9 on this. So, it's like, when we play Monday, it's like, I'm pretty sure that if I want to, I could probably just go and fully... Oh, you found the snow biome. Nice. I might go set up there later. I don't know. I can accurately say that I can probably, beat the game. I don't know if I necessarily want to, because like I said, we got 2 more weeks in September, 2 more Mondays, I believe. Do we have 2 more Mondays?
Yeah. Should be. Let me pull up my calendar right now. Yes, we have the 20th will be our next stream, and then the 27th. And we also, if we wanted to do Alan Wake next, that doesn't come out until the 5th, so we'd have like 3 more weeks.
Yeah, no, so I don't know. I might, because I see the thing. I want us, like, if we like start a game on our Monday co-op stream, I want us to actually finish it. Yeah. And I don't know necessarily if there's a game that we can start on, like, and do and complete in, like, 2 weeks. It'd have to be a fairly short game, but, I guess it's possible.
I mean, if we have an extra week or 2, we might just, like, stream Terraria for real instead. And, like, focus on playing Terraria as opposed to doing this. We'll see we can see how that goes.
That could be a thing.
People, like, fill some time.
People, let me know. Do you want more Terraria? There's a dirt bomb now? A sticky dirt bomb? What?
How does one make that?
It's just, you need a bomb and then you need 25 dirt. It's a small explosion that will spread dirt. I'm like, okay.
It's adorable. I need to check.
I'm slightly confuzzled, but hey. You do you game.
Oh. By the way, I should have warned because I made a complete room with walls. Technically, the guide lives in my house. He may eventually show up here.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I know you. You don't care about Steve. Damn it.
Steve! No, but like, so Bloodstained is gonna be interesting. Like I said, I might just beat it tomorrow. I just might.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm honestly okay with that. Like, I was thinking about when you tweeted that, I was thinking because you were like, oh, we gotta apologize. I'm like, honestly, I hope the audience understands that they would much prefer to see you be cool and strong at Bloodstained than see the interim period, because I think the way games like this work, right, where everything is level based and you gotta like, there is grinding and random drops and stuff, right? Like it's not quite like Terraria where like everything is craftable, you know, right? Like you either explore certain biomes to get things or you make them yourselves. There's no real grinding in Terraria, other than for like some very specific drops. In Bloodstained, there's a lot heavier RPG elements that are straight up, grind for. Like, hey, you want to level up this shard to do more. You need to do X, Y, and Z that involves just hunting spawns, fusing things, acquiring, level ups. So, what my point is with that is, trying to inventory screen. That means that basically people have a choice. They can either see you minimally grind, but have to grind on stream, because in order to get to certain places, you are going to need to level this up, acquire these materials to craft this new item that you need to go to the next tier, because of course you need to level up your shit, etc.
Yeah.
Or you can do all the grinding off stream, and that means that you're kind of overpowered because, well, I suspect with a game like Bloodstained, there probably is like a challenge modifier that you could probably like put on my "don't level me" ring or something. Somewhere in the game, but I don't know if you were set up for that, because a lot of that stuff is optional and some of it you can find on your own. So like, yes, you're over leveled, but you've accomplished all the grinding. Like, I mean, I'm not going to dunk too hard on Axe. I still think that I told him he should have formulated. The reason why he was like trying to like figure out where it was and tell us was because he was not having a good time watching you wander back and forth and not know what the fuck you were doing, but he had a hard time articulating that bit and skipped straight to the solution. And I was like, okay, I understand. You totally should have just said, I'm dying over here. Because I told him, and I think I told you that night on our last stream, I was literally about to look up the location of the whatever we were looking for, the item.
Yeah, the Aegis plate.
Yeah, the Aegis plate, so you could avoid traps, because I was like, I'm dying a little bit here, not knowing where this thing is. I was going to ask you if you were okay, and if you were like, no, I'm still fine, I would have been like, okay, and just had it in my back pocket. That said, sometimes chat are gremlins, and they're like, oh, you're doing things? I'm fine with anything.
Yeah, I know, like, and that's the thing I kind of want to apologize, because it looked like some people were like, they were in it for the fucking for the me getting slightly upset at the
they were in it for the full package experience, which includes the grinding and the not knowing the fuck where you're going.
Yeah. So, okay.
I mean, whatever. Bloodstained will happen. We will beat the game. There's, we started the stream like we was talking about it earlier. We like to finish. If we're gonna do a weekly stream series, co-op, we should definitely probably focus on finishing the game. I know sometimes I've cycled through some games when they don't seem to be clicking with stuff, but at least when we're doing this together, it works out better if we can like do the complete experience, add it to the archives, as it were. So we will finish Bloodstained. Lucky is just saying that he may finish Bloodstained, probably a week early on next stream immediately, because he's done a shitload of grinding and doesn't need to do much more on stream. So we can probably just punch bosses and work through things.
Yeah. Okay, come on. There we go.
Is it still night? Yes. The
it
zombos are still at my door.
I see you, Trev. Ah! Oh, wait, I have glow sticks. Hey, heart crystal.
I'm literally sat on my chair in my house in front of my campfire, watching the zombies poke my door.
So it's like, not today.
I even preemptively did the torch strat, so they can't possibly get in.
Oh, no, it's that fucker.
Chill.
Alright, I think I...
Welcome to Terraria, everybody. Just chilling.
Ah!
And if for some reason you don't know, because Terraria is older, you don't know, this is Terraria. We said it's kind of I would say the best way is it's a 2D survival crafting Metroidvania game.
Shit.
Like, it's a 2D not quite platforming game, but you mine and you craft like a Minecraft. But I don't like to call it a straight up 2D Minecraft because I think you only get the level of complexity out of modded Minecraft these days, which is sick. I love modded Minecraft, but like Terraria has much more distinguished tiers of items, has a whole accessory system, increasing your HP and MP and stuff, and acquiring all kinds of like special slots and stuff. You got a pet, you got a light pet, you can equip a minecart, a mount, you need a grappling hook, accessory slots. And it has a lot of variety in like biomes, mobs, and certainly harkens to a lot more of like classic 2D exploring game type enemies and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. It's similar but not quite the same. I see some of my palm trees have grown. I will have to go for them, though. I think if I remember correctly, I need stone, I think, to make a chest. Definitely need stone to make a furnace.
Well, like I said, I've been raiding chests and stuff for a little bit, so there's back at the spawn, I put like a couple chests down with like more chests inside of them.
All right, I may just walk back over there and steal a chest if I want to store any shit that's mine. Probably still mine some stone. Luckily, they were, like I said, I think our spawn point is close to like a little bit of a mountainy, rocky forest biome where there's a lot of big stone deposits on the surface. That's something, by the way, Terraria has vastly improved over, is differentiating all its biomes. It's a very fun game. So we talked about Bloodstained and Terraria and stuff and all that stuff together. That's good, no? What else? What else? I mean, I can kind of... It's not directly related, but I do have some... you talk about like getting organized on Twitter and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I've similarly been getting organized in real life.
Oh.
I finally got an extra shelving unit in my closet, which means I can unbox some boxes. Had quite a few boxes left over since not books yet. Need a bookshelf for that, but I think we're figuring out what space to use. If you hear my mic arm squeak, by the way, it's because I'm adjusting the microphone so I can still speak to you, but also literally turn my head around to look at the closet. But yeah, so we moved a shelving unit in, put some shelves in it. It's got adjustable shelves, so I was able to kind of set it up how I like. So I've unpacked all my old games, so like PS2, PS3 games, my like half a dozen Wii games I still own. By the way, I do still own a functioning Wii too. It's pretty fun. I mostly use it to play. Very, very rarely I will play Twilight Princess again or play Brawl. Should probably pick up some new games there. Please put Twilight Princess on the Switch, Nintendo. Okay, thanks. Don't make me dig up a Wii U. But in addition to games, I also have all my DVDs and Blu-rays on that shelves too. Stuff is kind of double stacked, but I was able to prioritize everything. I've also got like some like old VHS tapes and audiobooks and stuff stacked as well. I can't really play that media handily, but I still have it, so. And it's, stuff I care about, like my VHS copy of The Matrix and some Star Wars films, which I'm not ready to just yeet out. Also found a spot for some of my card game collectible stuff, like my binders, which freed up desk, so. Should have plenty of room for various accessories and bits and bobs, and actually, I think after we're done with the show, I'm going to rebalance the shelves, and I think I'm going to move my PS4 games out of my TV entertainment stand thing, because that has little shelves in it, as you do, and then just start stacking future PS5 games in there, maybe. Because I have ordered Deathloop. Very interested for that. Honestly, I could, with that game being new, I could probably stream that as like a filler, but like you said, that would probably not be a finish because I don't even fucking know how long that game's supposed to be. And hell, it's literally a loop game. I suspect if you beat it, you can probably just loop it again, like do a New Game Plus or something. I don't even know. But people say it's good, and I like arcades.
Yeah, no, this bomb just drops fucking dirt.
Ah, that's handy. Yes. Had a bug net. I catch about 1,000 dragonflies. But yeah, so I'm glad to get that shelving unit in and futz around with storage and stuff. Maybe after I get all the shelves filled up to my satisfaction, I can take a picture or something and post it on social media. Since we did just talk about being on social media, like actually on social media, not just to retweet art of butts. That's okay, but, you know, we might want more than that. Grow the audience, engage with people. It's funny. Though speaking of posting on social media, I also have thrown up, this is something I do pretty regularly. We are coming to the end of a season of, or technically have already ended the season, but we haven't started the new one yet, officially. It's not all recorded yet. We're coming on up to a new season of Progression Tournament. We have finished the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds era and are moving into the Zexal era. Or Zearu, as some would say, because in Japan the X is silent, I guess. But I don't give a shit. It's a big X in it. Fuck you. Stop doing that. I think that's just what I'm going to do. When somebody who's Japanese is like, no, don't pronounce the X, I'm going to be like, then don't put a fucking X in it, nerd. Those aren't your letters. Don't steal my X and then tell me I don't get to pronounce it. But, so we're coming up on Zexal, and I have posted my first mock-up of the, like, new thumbnail and backdrop assets. If you want to check it out, it's on my Twitter. I retweeted it from the studio account, so you can find it as well if you don't follow me personally. I really need a bug net so I can get some of these earthworms from a fishing rod. Need that bait power. But, yeah. Usually I like to do kind of some back-and-forth ideas. But I couldn't really find good assets for an alternate, so I'm just like, I think this is going to be what I'm going for, and we'll see if people like it or not.
The spirits
do all the fonty work and stuff. Oop. That's right, doors auto open. I walked in the house and looked away and almost walked all the way out of the house.
Fuck off, slime! You're cold! Alright,
Chili slime. Let's go mine some stone before the daylight is. But yeah, so that's fun and all. I've talked about recently that we started adding a thing where we show everybody's deck list, so you can hopefully follow along with what people are doing in their strategies as we go forward. We had a little bit of a long segment at the end of this week, for instance, because we're talking about hypothetical changes to format and ban list and stuff. Just doing some generic stuff besides our normal procedure of how we do the banning.
Ice cream?
Neat. I hope you can eat the ice cream.
Yeah, medium improvement to all stats, increased life generation, 14-minute duration. Okay, so it's temporary.
Pretty normal.
It's temporary, but it's ice cream. Enjoy that shit.
Pretty normal for food. Pick it up.
Stick it in your mouth.
I suspect these slimes are the embodiment of nature's revenge, because I feel like every time I stop to mine resources, suddenly they're like, whoa, what are you doing, pal? And I'm like, I'm trying to get stone for my house. I want to build a nice toasty furnace. Excuse me? Pardon me, Mr. Slime?
No, clearly they're from... No, clearly they're from the state, and they want to see your license and permits. Do you got them?
Oh yeah, I don't have I don't have my stone mining license.
Nope. They're gonna have to ask you to cease and desist, but they can't speak your language, so all they can do is gloop you.
They can only go blub blub. This stone or no? It's tin. It's good. Need some of that too. But I also, when doing new seasons, I like to go back through my music selection. I know I keep the music kind of low, and you probably don't hear it a lot, but I like to have a little bit of something in the background. So I usually like to double-check, make sure all the sound selection I've already done is pretty good, and add usually some new things themed to the new season. So you may or may not hear some actual Zexal music from now on, in addition to the other stuff. So far, that process has gone really well. The 5D soundtrack is actually pretty good, so that was a real joy to add some of those songs to our mix-up. I also blatantly stole some music from Duel Links, because they do more music. It's modern. I still don't play Duel Links. Maybe someday, but also don't have time for that. I have to, tell myself I can't order, Deathloop until I'm prepared to know that I'm going to have to beat Zelda. But at least I committed. Furnace.
Oh, hey, there's a minecart track.
Yeah.
Ah!
Abandoned mine shaft, probably.
Let's see where it goes.
10 iron bars total to make an anvil. Ye old progressing the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, progression should have some new updates and stuff. Hopefully you guys find it amusing and interesting. We're still having fun most of the time. Most of the time. I should say this out loud, actually, because it's probably funny, but I said this entirely on testing. But I was thinking about my logic for banning and unbanning stuff. I was talking about leaving certain cards banned because I was like, I've realized, and you may think it's funny for Omega to say this out loud after we've been doing this for like 39 weeks, basically. But I said, I realized I can't trust you guys not to be degenerates. Therefore,
yeah,
when I realize there's a degenerate strategy, I will keep it off the list. But yeah, that was just kind of like I had some thoughts about myself about some stuff. It's always interesting to see our back and forths and how our opinion changes. We also get to see soon, probably, if the IRL ban list actually affects us, because there should be a new Yu-Gi-Oh ban list in October sometime, maybe. I know there's quite a lot of product that has been delayed until actually in October that I'm interested in. May or may not do unboxing videos. Those don't usually do very well. But I am probably going to order a couple of the new tin for this year.
Oh, did they lead me to Heart Crystal? Neat.
So I might do that because people may or may not want to care about that. You may want to see if Omega gets the hip new card that everybody wants, the crossout designator. Well, Omega out here just being like, hey, Dragon Maid Shio reprint in Prismatic. It's good. I paid a lot of money for that card in Ultra. Now I can... Actually, not a lot. I think it was like 30 or 40. Which for some foils is expensive, but, you know, that's what you do in this stuff. It may have been cheaper, actually. The reprints, new rarities. Cards being way too expensive.
I need to think of where I want to build my house.
Or do you want to build? Because I have a house. It's cool. It's in an oasis.
That's pretty cool.
I can leave my front door and go fish. If I had any bait. How do I get I think I have to buy the bug net from the merchant?
I believe so, yeah.
Do we have money? We should probably put some walls on the spawn area just so guys can spawn. We can get helpful NPCs.
Let's see here. Night's falling, though. Shit. You know what? I think I want an underground house.
That's always pretty fun. Unique. I remember a couple of times we've done like way station houses to get like access to like hell and stuff, the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
Those are usually pretty fun to look at. Not always fun to live in, but you know, efforts are made. Plus, you get to store your cool shit you find underground there.
Oh yeah. This water is desert water now. Whoopee cushion. Okay. But unfortunately, oh man, I really don't have much to talk about.
I mean, I got some stuff we might be able to prompt some discussion points.
Okay, yeah.
Because we've only been going for an hour. I can faff around like this. Lucky took all the faff duties on Let's Talk last night. I can figure out to faff around on this one a little.
Sweet.
There's a couple of things I could bring up. I've actually gotten some news. Oh, hey, a merchant did arrive. Guess the ref probably put some walls in.
Mm-hmm.
Sick. When it's daylight, I'll go back and talk to him for my bug net. But I have seen some recent news from Edge, the now publisher of Fantasy Flight Games' old RPG lines. One that I think is pretty interesting and useful for us and some fans of this channel. Apparently, all the legal paperwork has finally been finished, and now Edge has access to the Star Wars RPG license.
Oh, okay.
It took them a while. That's why there was no news, but they have actually secured it. And they have mentioned they will be planning reprints of books with new branding, so they'll switch the Fantasy Flight Games logo to the new Edge logo recently. No mention of new upcoming products. I know that they have, because of COVID and stuff, probably a big backlog of product. but I would assume you can probably expect that in addition to reprints, they may or may not, excuse me, sorry, want to take advantage of some of the recent stuff and publish some more books for Star Wars as well.
That'd be good.
For instance, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a like Mandalorian type setting, because the Mandalorian's been very, very popular. Talking about like post Return of the Jedi type stuff, but not full blown sequel trilogy stuff. Adding some new fluff, adding stats for like characters and items and ships and stuff you see in the Mandalorian, etc. And going from there. Also, I would say combined with the fact that, well, I haven't actually sat down and read any of them. I should sometime. I usually like casual reads. The fact that there's this High Republic media project and the KOTOR remake has been announced, that probably means that there is demand for Old Republic content. I would not be shocked if they tried to parlay that into some kind of Old Republic / High Republic sourcebook at some point. And, you know, the Jedi career as it appears in the Star Wars games could use, I think, still maybe like 2 more spec trees before it's flush with everybody else. I think Clone Troopers, for instance, get all 6 between the 2 Clone Wars books. Whereas Jedi, I think, only get the 4, Padawan, Knight, Master, General. So you could probably reprint, like, Padawan and Knight in one book, and then add a new spec, and then print, like, Master, General in another, and then add a new spec. You know, fill those out just so they're balanced with all the other stuff. Add in, again, new items, lore, whatever, plot hooks, setting stuff. Could be interesting. The other news is, I mean, I'm not actively unhappy about it, but I'm also not happy about it. The other news is that apparently around the Gen Con time, Edge has officially announced they are planning a 5e Dungeons & Dragons conversion for Legend of the Five Rings.
Wow.
Like, I'm not, like, really shocked. I understand I am a little surprised. I'll say why in a second. I understand the logic, obviously, thanks to shows like Critical Role and lots of other big things. Like, D&D and 5e have bigger mind share and market share than ever right now. I think D&D was technically, during the 4E years, technically on a downturn. Pathfinder was, you know, kind of splitting the fan base there. And the return to 5e and then the influence of parasocial nonsense gaming and actual plays and podcasting and stuff brought it really to the fore. And I know that Edge has published a 5e adaptation already, a 5th ed adaptation already, for a classic setting that Fantasy Flight published called Midnight, which is like kind of a dark fantasy kind of setting. If they haven't actually put it out, they're working on it in dev still. So I understand why, but also for Legend of the Five Rings, why? There's 2 big things there. Number 1, Rokugan is not D&D world. Like, I've played 5th ed. I think it's a perfectly functional game to play D&D. I think you should stop trying to use D&D to do things that aren't D&D. And Legend of the Five Rings is not D&D. There's not a good adventuring hook. I mean, you can go into the Shadowlands, I guess, but, like, there's no, like, loot curve. There's not really, like, traditionally an EXP curve in the way the game is handled. And especially with I honestly can't expect the original game designers, though several of those guys are still working back at Fantasy Flight and did not move on to Edge. They stayed with other game lines back at Fantasy Flight. I can't imagine they're probably super happy about it, because the also 5th edition of the Legend of the Five Rings standalone RPG is very highly tuned to create specific stories about drama in samurai movie style in a fictitious, you know, East Asian setting. So, yeah, I do not know how that's going to go over. I will probably not touch it with a 10-foot pole, but that's because I have a me thing about trying to make everything D&D. Please stop.
Yep.
The other thing, though, is, I mentioned this, there have been 5 editions of the Legend of the Five Rings role-playing game. If you get into a community conversation, you can usually talk about all 5 of them, barring some extreme neckbeard grogs who are deeply offended that the new edition of the game dared to have gay people and also not use that one word that's technically still a slur in actual modern Japan. You know, do a modicum of sensitivity research. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not really fluffed about that. The exception to this is the 2nd edition, which was when Wizards of the Coast briefly owned the license to L5R and published the 2nd edition as a D20 hack under the Oriental Adventures moniker. Nobody liked this. Yeah, nobody liked when Oriental Adventures rolled in the Rokugan stuff. And you may actually, if you're like really old school, you may remember certain stuff. for instance, this is why for a long time Rokugan had Kenku, even though the actual appropriate term is Tengu, and the names got fixed in the new edition. But yeah, that is the single most unpopular version of the game. Like, there are old schoolies who are playing still like the first edition. There are people who make arguments whether you should play the third or fourth edition if you're playing the traditional roll and keep system. I have met plenty of fans of the new fifth edition, even if occasionally it requires you to stretch your GM muscles. Nobody likes the D20 edition of L5R. So I'm like, guys, did you not read the room? So I'm guessing they're hoping to just like hook people on the setting, and then even if the mechanics are weird, they hook people into the deeper game, or maybe some of their side games, or the novels, obviously. Well, I believe they have been not been published in a while. And that reminds me, I do need to dig up whatever box the next L5R novel is in. Lucky bought it for me like last year, and I still haven't, or technically I guess earlier this year still, or was it last year?
I don't remember time.
Fucking quarantine time. Nothing makes sense. Everything is quarantine. It's in a box anyway, and I haven't dug it out yet. I should do that sometime. There's a lot of things I need to catch up on reading. I need to like block out some read time. But like, you are not gonna. I don't think you are gonna get any crossover of anybody who likes the L5R RPGs who are gonna go to the 5e version of this game.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. So I'm like, I understand, but also I'm still bamboozled. But hey, whatever makes you money, I guess. Just don't dedicate too many resources. When people asked on Twitter about, hey, is the Dragon book still coming out? They were like, coming soon. I know that they've had product delays. They're working on the Twilight Imperium Genesis book right now. Very interested to see where that goes. That'll probably give me some juice for Mass Effect or any other space opera type stuff I want to do with Genesis. I know from Star Wars it's very reliable for that level space opera science fantasy stuff. Pretty cool. And then, yeah, I really want to see the Dragon book. Also, if I would like... if Edge could officially publish the Lion book online on PDF. I know that was the last FFG title, so there's still some licensing wonkiness, but I'm fairly certain it hasn't been posted to drive-thru yet. Could we help it out? I don't know. On the one hand, I suspect that some of the companies under Asmodee's umbrella probably wouldn't have done so well under pandemic if they didn't split all their focus right. I've talked about this before. The parent company of Fantasy Flight, Asmodee, owns many, many other small nerd brand imprints. So they over the past couple of years, they were restructuring to put all their different types of products in different companies. So Fantasy Flight Games is staying card games and board games, but they moved miniatures games to Atomic Mass Games, who have been doing a fairly okay job of continuing to publish material for Star Wars Legion and X-Wing, in addition to their own Marvel Crisis role-playing game. And I know a lot of people are very eager to see if, because AMG, which is an Asmodee subsidiary, has the Marvel license, if Genesis and Edge could get a Marvel license for an official superheroes RPG, that would be pretty cool myself. And I think would really help the brand recognition. But so Edge Studios got all RPGs. Originally, I believe they published Anima, the Spanish game, which is very anime-esque, and then they translated Fantasy Flight RPGs, and that's about it. And also, Aconite is their fiction imprint that publishes all their novels now, such as the Legend of the Five Rings novels, but also novels for Arkham Horror and all that other fine stuff. So, like, I understand why they did this. They did this Redux. I suspect, diversifying their portfolio may have actually, like, made them more survivable in our pandemic times, because you had less employees in more focused areas than lots and lots of employees under one big umbrella. But choosing to reorganize just before the pandemic really fucked this all up, and everybody's products and production is super delayed, and it's awful. A star landed on the bridge across my lake. I wonder if I should run out and get it. There's no zombies around. I'll leave my hovel for it. No, go away, Zombo. Die.
Oh, that's right.
Ow! He tried to hit me with his weird club arm. How dare you? Oh, shit. I got stabbed. They got a lot of reach now. Fuck those zombies with long arms. Damn, dude. Sucked.
That's how it be.
I gotta camp out back at spawn.
I'm underground.
Yeah, you have fun with that. And that's why we don't leave our house. While I'm here, Merchant Man, how much do you need for a bug net? 22 silvers. Oh, Aresh has found a boomerang. Alright, I don't have 22 silver on me. My corpses may have it, but I don't. So I'm gonna sit in this room for a while. Daylight once again. But yeah, so that's some interesting RPG news on my angle. Though, funnily enough, I did happen to just be trolling through community forums and happened to stumble across the guy who makes the GM holocron.
Oh, really?
Yes, and asked him if, because he was talking about, I've seen people have been using this. It's been updated recently. I hope everybody's okay with it. And I'm like, it's been updated recently. Have you done the thing with the vehicle combat table? And he's like, no, probably not. I can tell how much my group uses vehicle combat. And I'm like, all right, cool. So hopefully we pointed out an error that can get fixed. I think that's the major omission of it, other than the fact that the organization is completely clown shoes, but I've not made it, so I'm not going to fight him on that. But yeah, hopefully we can get that update. I did double check the version. I think it's mostly the same content, just some of the fonting and icons have been fixed. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if while you're underground and while we're on the subject, you want to talk about last week's session. It reminds me, I was up to like 6 a.m. posting Let's Play FGO today, unfortunately. So I was earlier before we got started streaming. I was going to remind Lucky to upload the AP. We'll have to do that after we're streaming.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. I'll remember. But yeah, if you want to talk about last week's session, we did do some fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. So last week we got underway. And let's see, we got through, what, 2 out of the 3 zones? Yeah.
Yep.
Because we made it through... Actually, what'd you call it? What was the first area called again?
You went through the Nomad's Path.
Nomad's Path. And we had a single encounter there. We had a little bit of yelling there.
We... well, yeah. No, Axe told me later he straight up got distracted and he was sorry. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Everybody gets distracted. That's kind of why I call for attention, but also, I mean, I'm not gonna... We all get distracted. It's not... Because it's not like we're playing on our computers. It's not like I can enforce, no phones, no Twitter, perfect decency, because people need to do other things while we're doing stuff. And also, Loth literally can't talk to us sometimes still. His voice is still squeaky with his viral throat thing. So I don't know how long it will go along. So, like, it's I can't be too persnickety about it, but I was like, let's try not to do that in the future. So there was a little bit of yelling of like, hey, everybody focus, we're trying to do things there. And I'm like, what? We're lost? We got over it, though. And actually did the encounter.
We had a bit of... I think we had a bit of fun in the second one. The ghost, the... Well, God, I can't remember.
Ghost Waddies.
Waddies, that's why I couldn't think of it. That's a weird name.
Omega knows lots of words.
Had an interesting encounter there. Oh, Law says his voice is finally getting better. That's good.
That's good. I know you were fighting that one for a long time.
What the fuck is an amethyst gem corn? Can I plant gem trees? What?
Ooh,
what?
I think you can. Yeah. That sounds cool.
I'm excited for this. But
and it's an amethyst too.
Yeah.
Neat.
I love amethysts. They're purple.
If you find a ruby, let me know.
Will do. But oh, you can plant gem tree. Well, I'm planning on living underground, so perfect.
Like he's gonna corner the gem tree market.
Yeah.
I missed the rope.
You did not bounce.
There's literally a tiny break in the rope. Right where I was trying to grip. Whoop. All right, well, I'll respawn, and I'll go get my coins.
I should probably come back. I don't want to, though.
You don't really need to come back.
Well, no, I just got, like, inventory is full of stuff, and I got bars, and... Out!
Well, I suppose that does make sense. Aresh has been expanding the shelving of the chests, so there's a lot of chests to go through back at the spawn base.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back.
If you need to sort through your shit. I'm busy hiking back to my house again.
Jeez. Alright.
Well, there's a giant fucking... Actually, can I cut through the hill? Do I have to even bother fucking with height? No, I can actually just walk through. That's right. There's a tunnel here. Hey, free vines.
Weather vein,
copperback.
Alright, 10 bars. Booyah. Fuck tons amount of 10. And then iron bars. I only have 8 of those. What else do I got here? Silver bars.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
And platinum bars. I had enough for a platinum bar?
Damn. Oh yeah, we can do wormhole potions if any of us have them.
I think I've been dropping off a few. Wait. Oh shit, that was my fucking... god damn it, I just put all my fucking bars into another fucking... Oh, well, I guess I'm stealing everyone's fucking bars then.
Haha, joke's on you. I already moved my bars.
No, that's probably solid. I didn't think about that. I didn't think that other people to put their ores and stuff in here. Well, they're all mine
Well,
now.
I mean, I've mostly been hiding in a hole at night, so I don't really have a lot of ores. Is there anything I need to do in this house for now? No? Okay. Maybe I'll go mining a little bit.
Alright, but now I will make me a silver broadsword to give people the booping in.
Dude, did acquire a bug net.
Let's see, how much silver do I have left? I have 8. I can make a pickaxe.
It's pretty important. Pickaxe upgrade's very key to Terraria.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so in the Ghost Wadis, we had a vehicle scenario, a full-blown vehicle scenario. Yeah. So that was a lot more drawn out because, shocker, not even your two characters who are pretty good at driving and shooting and stuff are actually spec'd for the vehicle combat angle.
No.
So none of your bullshit comes into play. only the bullshit that is your tank, because it's still slightly bullshit. I've talked about this before.
I love it.
Seriously, what the fuck? Why is it damage 7? Why did you do that? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. So obviously there were a couple of times where you'll hear this when the final recording comes out, where it's like, I see, I've done a whole nothing to you again. But I was still able to do some scratch damage. I was able to squeak in a lot of critical hits. The stacks were getting pretty huge. Nothing really funny happened with that, but still, it was good to get started. So that was fun, but that was a lot longer and drawn out and more dramatic, I think, as intended.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got to do a little bit of fun stuff, you know. Loftus Boots did some shooting. Wevu did some driving. Wevu left some driving to go do some shooting. There was a little bit of having to sit down and talk about that afterward. Yeah. Camo got to look at guys, sometimes shoot, but also fix things. And you got to do battle med and give everybody lots of successes.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting structure we got going on here. Well, let me put one of those back. That was an accident. Meant in that excess.
No one's gonna want to fucking spear her. Get out of here. Get out of here with that shit.
Oop. Too.
I'll buy me a bug net. I'll buy me the sickle, and I'll buy me a picket bank.
I mean, it was a canyon, so I mean, it's not like they were. Also, you had omnidirectional turrets. They only had front-facing weapons, so technically, you guys were cheating.
All right.
In here.
And...
Hard-packed sandstone.
Let me see here. Oh, I got more worms. Where did I get more worms? Oh yeah, I found worms. Pressure plate, get out of here. Sell this axe. Not that axe. Actually, is Axe here? No, he's not.
I don't think so. No, is he busy with something? He might have school stuff. Who knows?
Oh, wait, no.
Usually he's here on these eves, but...
Oh, no, he's I see him talking in games chat. I guess he's been playing Tales of Arise.
Oh, actually, that is... I have an easy way to check. Oh, not right now, but I guess he has... I know he has been today. Probably busy. Well, yeah, I had some problems with some of my guns and their reloadification, so I was like, all right, I'll just have a guy jump out and get you, and he got to do the whole thing, and then Armok got to do the funny thing.
Teleports behind you. It made me giggle.
Lights out.
I had a giggle, mate.
Yeah. Then you actually used influence for once, and you had some very funny interactions that way.
Mm-hmm. It definitely made me realize that I don't use my force power bullshit powers as much as I could. I mean, I take that back. Yeah. I use the add force points to brawl and social checks all the fucking time, but I don't use like the actual, you know, like Jedi mind tricks and whatnot, like that much.
You have a couple of horsepower trees
Mm-hmm.
that you are not super. Sand really goes all the way up. Is this very efficient? I'll wrestle that way, but I can access it. Some ore.
I threw it on the ground. Sorry, I threw my pig on the ground. There's a weather balloon in the back there. What? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Iron.
Take me with you. I wonder if that means there's an island above us or something.
Ooh, I mean, I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
Oh, that's what this project was. Aresh has developed an underground fishing hole.
See, Rush is just going fucking hog.
I mean, she's got tell if that's like an iron hat or a wood hat still. I think still a wood hat or not. We're all doing our own project. I came down for some ores, some sand. Got some hard sand. To make sure to keep an eye out and capture some worms so I have some bait power myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, sweet desert.
That is very true. We play with Aresh in a lot of games, and we have learned Aresh has no chill, only Neum.
Listen, some people are busy. They got shit to do.
Yeah. No, when we play Final Fantasy 14 with Aresh is the person who, we just killed the boss, and Aresh is already at the exit, moving on to the next one. We're just like, damn.
Going now. Leaving.
Oh, God, and this place is so messy now.
Yeah, I don't know about all the rope shit, but let me forge more bars. Well, since you brought that up, I have an interesting thing to jump off to if you have any thoughts about some stuff. Hey, 50 blue slimes, cool.
Yep.
But do we have any more to say about the Star Wars sesh?
Not necessarily. No. I feel like probably next session we're gonna have the interesting stuff because we've been excited for it. You've hyped it up.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Giant's graveyard. I think Marth was even because he had some technical difficulties at the end with was like, oh yeah, we probably should have stopped to ask that one guy. About the next area and if it was dangerous or not. And I was like, oh, you don't need to guess anything. Everybody would tell you that next area was dangerous.
Mm-hmm. You right there, Aresh?
Everybody would tell you. Because it's called the Giant's Graveyard, and so it's going to be full of giant creatures. As you do. Yeah, you don't need a lot of space to fish.
I
should go smash some rocks if I can find some. That's right. There's this one fucking antlion who won't despawn. He's on the other side of my house, and he's very beefy. I need some good armor paint.
All right.
But yeah, in the first zone, you guys kind of had a chill time. I rolled really bad on the weather both times, but the actual results of hey, what randomly stuff do you find was positive. So you found helpful people in normal civilians in distress that you could help.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a little bit of positive out of that, but you didn't necessarily want to go too far. It was just kind of a neat opportunity for you guys to continue to be good guys and not be assholes. That vulture waited until I tried to jump over him to leap up and stab my face. I need some fucking life crystals or something. I forgot how fucking annoying basic bitch.
Yeah, no. Until you get up there, you die real quick.
I only have 6 iron bars. Can't even make iron pants. I don't think.
I'm in 10 by the way.
In these chests. One chest, statue, mining potion, shitloads of recall potions. That doesn't matter. There's a couple of wormhole potions up here, but I won't take them yet. I will take these shitloads of shurikens, though, just so I have a ranged weapon. Nobody is clearly using them because there's 166 up here.
Yeah, that's many. That is many. That is a number.
Let me see if I can run all the way home at night with 166 shurikens.
This sounds like a challenge quest.
Going on a run. Going on some run with some shurikens. But yeah, so yes, the next Star Wars session will probably be, because I expect, unless we get really slowed down or something, we will probably get through the adventure. You guys may or may not do the bonus bits that are also written. I think I mentioned last week when we started, the bonus stuff wasn't written. It's fully written, everything. Got all the stat blocks and everything.
Yay.
It's good. So, we'll do that. But yeah, since you did mention about 14, and I think you mentioned on Let's Talk, you have access to your account again. You just haven't actually been able to play yet.
Yeah, no. I have access to him because basically, like, did I explained it? Yeah, I explained it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you explained the whole story. It was a reason why we skipped it. Well, partially a reason why we skipped a What's Up week, because you were very busy working on that problem. So yeah, no, you explained.
Yeah, no, but so I do have access to the account. I paid the amount that I needed to pay, so now I'm basically just waiting for them to be like, all right, we have received the money. You may have your account again. Which is good because yesterday they actually had a developers live stream, and
Yes.
they actually 14 was trending because they were revealing a bunch of good shit.
Yes. Well, and actually, I wanted to bring up one thing. And I don't know. I want to know if you saw it. Did you see that briefly? It was early, like either late last night or early this morning. Summoner was trending specifically.
Yeah, no, my main class. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up.
No, yeah, but Summoner was trending. It's because the reason why it probably was trending is because one of the things that, because like during these dev they show new stuff off. And the thing that they showed off this time was all the new job actions. They might have gone into the detail on the actual stream, but I wasn't watching it because guess what? We were doing fucking
we were doing late night Let's Talk for too many hours.
Yeah, and I was like, nah. It's like instead of me watching this, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go do other stuff. But I catch up on things like because like this is a good thing. Like as they're like doing the stream, they like post videos and whatnot and all that stuff. But so they showed off all the job classes for like or the new ones or like. I don't know if they showed all of them. I can't remember, but they showed off many of the job actions and many of the new ones, and it looks like Summoner got an overhaul again, which is a meme in its own point because Summoner is a class that keeps getting overhauls for like almost every expansion.
Yes, I do believe I saw when I was like, what the fuck is Summoner trending for? Summon the twinding. And then I was like, it's everybody talking about 14. I'm like, oh cool. And then I definitely saw a tweet that was like, once again, Summoner is new every expansion.
Yeah. But it looks like they're definitely doing something fun stuff, and a lot of people seem excited for it because it actually looks like we're actually... Before Summoner would have you summon these little mini versions of the primals, which are like the big quote-unquote summons in the game. But now it looks like in-game you'll actually, like, if it's for a second, you'll be able to summon the big one and, then channel some power, which is exciting. Like, I'm for this. Things are... We got more open area here. But, yeah, so that's all happened. They've, like, shown, like, the opening screen for Endwalker. They've been showing off some of the music. They showed off a little bit of the gameplay. They showed how, like, the stat squish is working. Because that was the big thing one of the big things they were talking about is the reducing stat growth bloat. They were talking about how just because how they were doing the numbers, just like enemy health and stuff had to be so fucking huge. And
yeah, this is a problem when you have game systems that go on too long. You end up with stat bloat, and you have to occasionally squish stuff down.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing. Squishing, they're getting rid of belts, and then distributing that space to other things, which is good. I have a main class for basically like every archetype, because there's you have your tank, you have your healer, then you have your melee DPS, your range DPS, and then your magic DPS. That's like 6 classes. And if I'm trying to get the relic weapons for all of them, that's a lot of spaces that get to take up. So I'm just like, I'm a little, yes, no, more inventory space, be goo. But yeah, Endwalker I'm excited for it. I've already pre-ordered it. I've actually taken vacation for like a few days after it.
Wow, this is classic MMO type stuff. You're blocking out vacay time for the next expansion.
Yeah. Well, I've never actually done something like that, so I'm like, no, I want to do that because, like I said, like the group of people that I play with, like the Crow's Nest is like, we get on, we play, we do stuff on a regular basis. When I'm
I often see you guys hiding in the not hiding because you're actually in public. We in the prog team hides. We hide in secret gaming so people don't disturb us. But the crow's nest boldly strides into Tiamat Gaming without fear because Lucky is here. But yeah, I see you guys hanging out when you're on, off and on occasionally. Sometimes we have to, pry Loth out of their content. And other times we don't. And you know what? If Loth doesn't want to win more games, he can continue to play 14. No, it's fine. I don't actually care that much. I just... It is often funny when literally every other person in the prog team is in there, including Axe, who sometimes plays 14. Though he is back in his semester, so I don't know if he has the time or money for that. But it is funny when we're all in here and Lost like, okay, I'm gonna go play with Lucky, bye.
Bye.
This is why you have a worse record than Robin, who is 1-3. 1 win, 3 losses. That makes 25%. Loth is 9-29, I think, which is like 24%. The stats are actually pretty interesting. Me and Dallas are like log jammed up at like 52%, I think, very slightly. And we're both creeping up on Axe. Axe has actually been on a big downturn stats-wise.
Oh, really?
Stats are important. Yeah. He's still the most with like 44 wins. But he hasn't gotten out of round 1 in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh.
So me and Dallas have been doing a lot better in the late 5Ds environment. And honestly, Dallas did really well in late GX, our last the season before the one we just wrapped. So we've been scooching up there. I have like 31 or 32 wins, I think. Like, obviously, I still need to win for like a month straight to catch up to Axe, but I'm glad that our disparity is not so pronounced. Axe tore out to an early strong lead when we started the format and was like unconquerable for a long time, but we've really evened that out. And now we have the funniness of Robin with 4 total, because he's only with us every other week because of his work schedule. Not to distract too much from the 14 thing, I've been hearing it trend occasionally. I've been seeing some videos pop up in the YouTube feed.
Ooh. That might be.
Tweet? No, that second image is probably a little... Question we always have to ask. Well, Lucky has to ask himself when he's on a certain account now. I guess that question for you is now, which account do I tweet?
Pretty much, yeah. I found a fuck ton of emeralds. Yay!
You know, 30 minutes ago, I think I pulled open our channel dashboard to, like, look up a video performance or something, or double-check something, and I can't remember why now. Absolutely no idea why I pulled this up.
Going for those metrics?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm happy the recent episode of Let's Look FGO we just dropped is very well. It's number 2 right now. It wasn't all Lotto. It involved Summer and didn't yell about Mew buff, so it's naturally lagging behind that video, but it's doing better than the last couple weeks, which were a little slow, a little weak.
Yeah, Rich, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about gem acorns, because I found some amethyst, and I was just all like, there are just gem trees now.
You're in the jelly. See? Here's a tab over to the preview.
Alright. Yeah,
the progression episode is also growing pretty good. Streams. Is that what I was going to look up? How's streams? Are they okay? I mean, Bloodstained is... We've been doing it for like 3 weeks in a row, going on 4, so it tailors off a little bit, but it's still not awful. Everything's over 100. I usually think we're having a problem with streams when they're like sub 100. That's like, ooh, what happened now? There are a couple of our Uncharted streams that those may have been the tech. Well,
yeah.
Shocking nobody. It's been a little bit since I failed for bust the chest of the guy. This too. I don't know. Like I said, I have to. Oh, night Loth.
Night.
Also, Loth, you weren't going full ham. This is the thing. I want to talk about this in hypothetical. Lucky, I think you'll understand this at least without knowing much about Yu-Gi-Oh. But so we test decks, audience. We test our decks before we play them on screen. We test them fairly frequently, you know, because we're recording an episode every week, basically. So we like to get in our play time, and everybody's pretty busy. So when we have a free session, we usually like to get 2 or 3 or all 7 or 8 of us now, off and on, I think, in the format, depending on the week. Everybody together, we test some games. our testing game luck is very different than our on-camera luck. Many weeks, Loth has completely destroyed me in testing, made me reconsider my life and my deck choices, only to get to the bracket, and he dies immediately. That happened this week, actually. I was like, I think I said this when I talked about my deck list. I'm like, okay, I'm going up against Loth first. This deck is fun. I hope it will do okay. Hopefully we can show it off before Loth just bodies me and moves on. And then I think I won that match. I think it wasn't a 2-0 blowout, but it was still like pretty tight, pretty easily in my favor for a couple of those games. It worked out. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go to face Dallas in the second round. And that was I got blasted after showing off my deck a little bit. But yeah, like, people don't understand. That's also been Axe's problem. He has been doing very well in testing against me, especially in certain decks, because I feel like often me and Axe have free time at the same time. Not sure what's up with how that works out, or just, it's a, cognitive bias or anything. I obviously realize we have.
Oh, hey!
We have free time. Got a little big boy chamber under there.
Yep.
You must go deeper.
I found a fucking gloomy maze. The skeleton man. Let's see, what does he got? He got strange brew, the blue counterweights.
Always love that skeleton boy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like I've been talking up playtesting with Loth and Axe and being like, yeah, your decks are pretty good. You're making me reconsider which of my options we're gonna do, and this colors our whole perception. And then we get to the actual tournament, and nothing is like how we tested. Everything goes wonky. The results are completely weird, and it happens like that. And I'm just like, well. I think this has definitely spurred not just myself, but all of us to think a little bit harder about some of the stuff we do with banning, unbanning, formatting changes, because we're realizing what is actually happening in our format and what we think will happen in our format are still two different things. So we need to work on some stuff. It's midday. Does this antlion not despawn?
Probably not.
I'm gonna throw some shuriken at him. I guess it's because he got injured by something. I think a star fell on him. It's okay. I shurikened him to death. But he was just camped outside one of my doors for 3 days straight. Glad I got rid of him. But yeah, so that's always an interesting thing with our back and forth of testing. We sometimes test on failed betrayal. I'll see if we get together, because on the one hand, I usually have Tuesday is a quote-unquote day off for me. I don't have any official stream project. Usually I take care of any setup for the next day on Monday. I often have busy Mondays in the afternoons, but we can get a decent amount of stuff together. But also I have a backlog of stuff to catch up on. I need to make sure I'm not just wasting time, not doing anything when I could be, doing a little bit of the Zelda. I'm not gonna treat it as my job or anything, especially because we're not streaming it. But also there's no reason to, just not do anything as you do. There's still some TV stuff I should catch up on sometime when I've got some free time. And also there are some books that I should talking about reading I should catch up on, and some other stuff. I remember I was just randomly on Twitter, I think it was last night during the show, and OSP, specifically Red, was tweeting about a book series she just started, and I retweeted this some of these quotes if people are interested. But it was very 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 memey, and I'm like, wow, this is interesting for modern nerd reading. The Locked Tomb series. Let me.
Locked Tomb, huh?
Yeah, there's a Wake Me Up Inside joke. I retweeted the quotes,
Mm-hmm.
But and she had a follow-up quote that was some stories feel like they're trying to be written in timeless, even tone for everybody, and some stories are yeah, this shit is a narrow target audience, and that target audience is your mom. And I'm I read the quotes, and I'm all right, what's this about? This is about necromancers. This is about lesbian necromancers. I'll find the first one and skim it, see if it's any good. Maybe order them off Amazon. It's apparently 2 out of 3 books, though there's a 0.5 book, maybe a prequel or something. But I'm this dialogue is great. I don't mind when we go, how would we say this? Full send, I guess, in dialogue sometimes, scorpion. I can catch scorpions in my bug, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I got a black scorpion. Now, if I can get some glass, which I can easily do because I live in a desert, I just don't want to ruin my beautiful front lawn. But I can put scorpions in terrariums. In the game Terraria. Not a launch feature, by the way. That was a late edition thing, the Terraria jokes. Whoop.
Apparently, Aresh has made it to the jungle.
Yeah, Resha blew through my house like 10 minutes ago, and I guess found the jungle and then died to a bat. Because jungle bats are fuckboys. I remember this game. Jungle bats are bad news, y'all.
Bad news bears. Oh, I guess it's just on the other side of your house.
Ah, yeah, it's further. See, I couldn't get past there until I killed that fucking antlion. Those guys spit sand at you and do a lot of damage. I'm gonna put these scorpions in my chest. I'll come back to that later. But yeah, so like, you know, I probably want to get back to Failed Portrayal, do some stuff there, but also I might be free. I might want to catch up on a reading. I did actually find some free time to sit down with everybody and actually like throw in my my She-Ra DVD and actually watch it with people, get some fun commentary, back and forth. Institute the drinking game. The drinking game is when there's a transformation sequence. Drink. There's probably some other. Whenever I say "God damn it, Kyle," you should probably drink too. Kyle's a recurring schlub character. What is it with the name Kyle? You know, Kyle's one of those "God damn it, Kyle" names. Mm-hmm. It's like Steve, our crafting guy. God damn it, Steve. The guy is also notoriously kind of memed on in this game series. Oh, yeah. Also, could you not shoot this vulture into me with your bow and arrow, Steve? Steve? Ah! And then you run away, Steve? You're lucky I don't just pull this bridge out from under you and drop you in my oasis right now, Steve. I'm gonna go sit by my campfire and passively heal some hearts. But yeah, so expect probably Failed Portrayals sometime. I do want to get back to it. I don't know what we do, but like, people like those streams. We'll catch up on some streaming stuff and fun. But I need to make sure I have the time to do things in my life. Mm-hmm.
Having the time is important.
Yeah. We got Deathloop coming, and then we got even more games in October. Do you want to buy some? I mentioned it before. I also do want to buy some Cardboard Crack. Now that I've arranged all my shelving and stuff, I have plenty of storage space for everything. Man, I should start a scorpion farm. You want to pet scorpion?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I feel like we wouldn't get along.
So clearly, what I need to do is I need to find your house. I need to dump all of my black scorpions in it, and then charge you to remove them. Oh, you got a scorpion problem, huh? Yeah, that'll be 5 kappas to remove them.
Well, then you're gonna end up home and find out you have a sticky bomb problem, and no one's gonna be around.
Oh, I can use them as bait. Okay, that works too. Hey, fish, you would eat some scorpions? I don't actually know if you can use scorpions as fish bait. Probably?
I mean, if they have bait power onto them, you can.
I mean, in the game, but I mean in real life.
Probably.
You must construct additional pylons. But next week, not to like faff that we're ending or anything, we can probably come up with some other bullshit to talk about. Mm-hmm. Lucky can tell you about this idea that's apparently been stuck in his head about Jinsekai.
Okay.
You can lovingly describe the thing you described to me to the audience and see if they're as enthused as you are. Because clearly you are very happy about this.
Well,
we need to like... Oh, that's right. I left him in the chest like an idiot. You can't use scorpions as bait from a chest across the room. Me. But no, what I was saying was that next week you can probably expect from us in general, me specifically, fuller thoughts on Skyward Sword. Hopefully, I will be done with it by next week. Mm. I can get a lobster out of this material. What do you use? And it's doing a rock lobster joke, but it wasn't a rock. Wow. But also probably some initial thoughts on Deathloop. I'm sure it will be fun. People are saying, like, Game of the Year candidate. It's an arcane first-person shooter. We've always been in there, but, you know, marketed to hell. Mm-hmm. But there'll be that. When does Endwalker actually come out?
November 19th. We still got like a month. No, 2 months. Excuse me.
All right, got a little bit. All right.
All right.
That probably means that some of that content will be showing up on What's Up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know how lucky. Care. And I see here's Speeder Rush. Oi, I'm fishing here. Hold on.
It's like, you come here, you fish in my spot, you don't pay your dues. What are you taking me for, chump?
I mean, I could turn on PvP right now, but I think Aresh may have an iron hat. I may die. I'm still wearing trees. I really shouldn't be fishing. I should be in a hole somewhere, but I realized I can, Well, I haven't enabled PvP. By the way, Lucky, I want to let you know, because it's not on screen, Aresh immediately tried to murder me with a boomerang. Like, you turned on PvP, Aresh rushed across my bridge and threw a boomerang, like, twice at my face. But since I didn't turn on PvP, I did not die.
Yeah, now, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful of Aresh. Aresh will just straight up murder you. Just straight up murder.
But yeah, so there'll be more of that news. If I do actually read anything, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Mm-hmm. You know how I love reading. I like to read. I briefly mentioned on Let's Talk FGO, because I've been killing time doing projects and writing, I go back to the old podcast or video tree. Listen, there is a YouTube channel I follow, Kind of Funny, who does a series called In Review. Oh yeah, Rush has double jump. Dude, damn.
Well, this is the problem. This problem, like I said, running around, finding them chests, getting that loot.
Yeah. Luckily, if you're in a large enough world, you usually get more than enough of. You get redundant shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I expect you found a magic mirror earlier. I expect you will not find our only magic mirror.
No. Oh, I made a platinum axe. Oh, I'm dumb. Whatever.
That's fine. Where was I? Oh, yeah, reading. So anyway, Kind of Funny, they do an interview series about movies. They're pretty long, and I've listened to most of them before, so, they're perfect for background noise while I work through stuff, or while I'm like laying in bed trying to go to sleep but also trying to play Zelda on my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love the Switch. So I like watched their interview for all the 8 original Harry Potter movies, and that got me like, I like Harry Potter. I should listen to the books again. It's been a while, and I have been. I'm in the middle of Chamber Secrets right now, but I talked about this with Lucky. Boy, Chamber is so Sorcerer's Stone was fine. I got through that one okay. Like it's just a breeze of world building. Chamber has a lot of the classic young adult fiction, comedy of errors, classical misunderstanding things, right? Where just like all this stuff keeps happening, and it's only because nobody ever communicates and everybody just assumes the worst out of everybody. I'm just like, bah. This is just embarrassing and awkward for everybody, and I don't like it. So I have been like speed skipping through that audiobook. But it also makes good fodder to listen to because some of them are long. I think I'll like the later ones better, but some of the early ones are just kind of slow go. There's an eyeball outside. Let me see. What did I get? I got a lobster.
Gloomy Maze, I think you're gonna drown because I haven't installed a ladder yet. Should I install a ladder for you, my dude?
R.I.P. Boneman.
I think I will.
Hey. Craft dude, it's nighttime. Get inside the house. Because I want to talk to you. What can I make out of a lobster? Ooh, lobster tail. So I can cook the lobster. And I can turn the flounder into sashimi. Do I need a table for that? No, I'm going to do this wherever. All right, I'm going to turn my flounders into sashimi. So I have regen stuff.
Regen stuff is important.
I might need a cook pot for
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
To cook my lobster.
16,
or I can sell it.
18.
My rock lobster
20.
technique. Because of the yolks. Funny joke.
Sir.
See, that's why that's why I don't slap with Demon Eyes. That's why I sit in my house in front of my campfire. This is what we do here. Yeah, there was a new trailer for Metroid Dread recently, wasn't there?
Yes.
I saw Mark talk a little bit earlier about being excited for Metroid. I'm okay. I've never really been a big Metroid guy. I think the concept of Dread is kind of cool, like how they like revived this dead project from like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I should probably go back and play some more classic Metroids, but I'm okay. I got stuff. So let's see. I think the show is winding down because we're running out of things to talk about.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So
13,
let's
14,
see.
15, 16, 17.
Next week, Lucky may have beaten Bloodstained on stream, so we can talk about that, and we can tell you to go back and watch the stream. Also, go watch the stream on Monday.
Yep.
Sword. Probably get started on Deathloop. May or may not do some reading. You know, some other stuff. May or may not have sat down and watched more She-Ra with my third or fourth rewatch of the series, by the way.
Jeez.
Listen, I really like it. Also, it's short. Like, I haven't gotten very deep into, like, rewatching Avatar. Partially because watching Red's tweet-along speed read was just like, holy shit, you're going so fast. But those seasons are chunkier. They're like, was it like 24 minimum a season? Whereas She-Ra is like 13 episode seasons. And then I talked about this before. They did the thing that Netflix animation does a lot, or they split season 2 and 3. Were actually like one season, but then they split them into 2, so they're like 6 episodes and 7 episodes respectively. So like, yeah, it's a speed go. Oh, hey, Resh got a shackle from that Zombo. Should I build a second level? No, I don't even. I need a sawmill so I can, and some silk so I can make a. Well, I need a spinning wheel for silk usually, probably. I need a bedroom at some point, but I can make a second level later of my cool house.
Mm-hmm.
Why you open my door for a zombie?
Don't do that.
Do I go to your house and open your door for a zombie?
Lucky's slightly anal retentive in his area, so this is why I have a hard time playing with others in Terraria. So I'm trying my best. Trying my best.
Yeah, Terraria is always interesting because I think there's some stuff you can do with like PvP claimage and like gems and stuff and capture the flag nonsense or whatever. Like you can establish like base rules and like who can build where.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of extra effort. It's much easier when you do casual stuff and you don't go public for everybody because humans will fuck it up.
Yeah, they will.
It's much more respectable when you can trust everybody. Oh, I see Aresh has got fed up with not being able to use an anvil in my house and has placed an anvil. Thank you. I need one of those.
Like I said, this is why I am literally building my place as far, well, it's not as far away as one can be, but...
I mean, technically, it seems like with the positioning of, like, the jungle and stuff, my house is in a nice neighborhood, you know? You can pull up my map and see where you are. Yeah, you're pretty deep. You are, however, basically straight down from the spawn point at this point.
Yeah.
That means I probably need to go into the tunnels and explore around a little for some stuff. But, like, our little mini desert oasis is very nice. You can fish here. There's plenty of palm trees. I'll probably build some more levels. Build some sweet palm furniture.
Alrighty, let's see.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys here. There's, like, half a dozen of these fuckers floating around, bouncing outside. But yeah, so next week's show will probably be slightly more dynamic than this.
Yeah.
We always got the stuff. I don't think there was anything, like, ground-shaking news-wise. There were a couple of things to mention. We always, you know, consistency is key. We like to do the show. You know, kick off the Terraria thing. Have fun, show people.
3, 4,
Now, Resh just, like,
6,
have a wand with shoot some fire. Yeah, okay, Resh has a little sparky wand shooting some sparks. I fear nothing. Rando the Diamond stares shiny and perfect at the campfire. Blink, blink. Oh well, if Lucky wants to tell, it's just a minor thing. I just thought it was funny because like you said, you had a very specific idea about something.
I did.
Also,
but...
to be fair, it was kind of funny. Like, it was like post Let's Talk FGO. I think last night you just came at me out of nowhere with like a lore question. I'm like, hold on, let me yank open my notes.
No. It was before because I was at work.
Oh, was it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember I was at work, but
Oh yeah. Okay, it was before. Timestamps.
Yeah. So
I was probably working on show notes. That's why I that.
Actually, no. Let's put it one higher. But so I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. Like, I'm trying to like explain how I got into the mindset of asking these questions. So
that I can't help you with.
Yeah, no. So it was Friday. I was at work, and when my mind idles, I usually like to think of Jinsekai and stuff. Like as you do, I like to think about this this cool hip tabletop game that we're gonna think, and things about that. And one of the things I've been considering about Porter is since Porter travels a lot, he probably has a lot of people he's met in a lot of cities, and probably wants to keep up correspondences with them, send them gifts, especially ladies that he meets and has had intimate relationships with. Because he's a gentle pig. He just doesn't leave the next morning and never speak to the woman again. That's rude. So I was wondering, all right, so if Porter keeps up correspondence, how is he going to do that when he's traveling from town to town, realm to realm, dungeon to dungeon, all that crazy stuff? So the first thing I asked is I went to Omega. I was like, hey Omega. Well, this wasn't the first thing because I had a bunch of ideas. It's like, does he just like mail letters when he gets into town? Does he like does he just write them up and save them, or does he does he use a magical fire and like send them through like some magical means and stuff? And I was just all like, we're getting weird and complicated here. Let's start from the base here. This is the point of where I go up to Omega and it's like, hey Omega, 2 questions. 1, how's the literacy rate? Because there's no point in like writing letters to people if no one can fucking read them. So first one that, and Omega says it's usually based upon the culture and stuff, but I'm assuming like in most of the humane lands, fairly decent literacy. So I was like,
yes, it's probably, but like most, I mean, if you're sending letters to cities out, most humans can probably
read.
Specifically mention, like, Katai used to be known before they got the dragon. They used to be known as the land of paper and ink. So they were like very, very high literacy there across the. And then it kind of from there. It'll probably like wax and wane. Like I suspect in the Highlands, you probably have a slightly less literacy rate, because a little more like spread out in distinct subcultures.
Yeah.
Whereas in like New Lemuria, they have a very high literacy rate. They are wombo combo Persian empires and also Holy Empire. And they probably have a high literacy.
But
I believe it is explicitly mentioned that Pork and Beastmen have bad literacy rates.
Yes.
For separate reasons.
But so Omega told me that, and I was all like, cool. How does like mail system work? And you didn't know off the top of your head, but you said you think you wrote something in the guild hall thing, and I was like, oh yes, there is something. It's called the telearch, and the big main one is in the main guild hall in the tiered city, but basically allows the instant teleportation of mail between satellite offices and whatnot. I was like, okay, that's super neat. So I know that
there's 2 T's.
Oh,
Teleattack.
2 T's.
I didn't want to call it I don't remember. I think teleattack is just like Greek for distance writing. Trying to remember, like it was like or is it like letter? Because it's not telegraph. Graph would be writing, I think technically, but it's a similar root word. I did a funny haha high fantasy term for it. But yeah, there's a T in it. 2 T's, I should say.
2 T's.
Teleattack.
Teleattack. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. So I know if I'm in the city, I can just go to Ye Olde Guild Hall and, you know, send a letter that way. But then I was like, okay, but what if I want to send a letter, like, when I'm on the road? What do I do? What the fuck do I do? And I was all like, clearly what I need is a fucking delivery boar. And this is exactly how it is. Basically the idea is, like, because one of the abilities in the Genesis system is just conjure, and one of the things is you can just, you know, conjure animals. I haven't looked at the rules recently, so I don't remember the exact things, but one of the things that you do is you can just summon animals. Like, yeah, let me just summon a fucking, like, magical delivery boar. And I thought the idea would be great. It'd be a boar, but it'd have a sweet jacket. It'd have goggles, so because, you know, when it's going high speeds. And, you know, it'd just have, like, a bunch of pockets and, like, a harness so you can attack packages. I didn't really go into the detail of, like, how it actually works. But,
Well, I would say that's probably the beautiful thing about the magic system in Genesis is sometimes you don't need detail, right?
Yeah.
Like, let me pull up the spell cards. Like, yes, there are hard and fast rules for using conjure. Well, it's funny, Axe. You showed up just now. We're probably winding down the show because we don't have a lot to talk about. You'll have to go back to 2 hours and watch the backlog. But we are talking about RPGs and hypothetical. You may get a kick out of that. I'm pulling up the spell cards. But so, in the core mechanical system, Lucky is, you know, has said a correct thing. So, like, usually Lucky says incorrect things, but no, that is what he's told you is correct. There is a conjure spell. And one of the additional effects you can do are, I think it's, let me double check. Is it an additional effect or is it any effect?
13,
Where's conjure?
14,
Conjure, action, arcana, or primal.
15.
Actually, that's an interesting question. How would you conjure, buddy?
Oh, wait, does Divine not have conjure?
Nope.
Oh, no.
You need a special item for that.
Oh, no. I forgot about it. I fucking thought Divine had conjure.
No, it's the split between skills is a little weird sometimes. I think there either is by default, or I think I have added an item or talent so you can hypothetically cast any spell with any skill build. And if not, we may have to be hunting for, you know, exceptions. This is why proofreading is important. But conjure is arcana or primal. It's a default check is easy.
Primal,
if it's successful, you summon a single simple tool with no moving tights, a one-handed moving weapon, or a minion of no bigger than silhouette 1. It's an animal, magical creature, elemental, etc. And then it acts blah blah blahs Investa, and then it specifically says it takes its turn immediately after the character in a structured encounter. But the beautiful thing is, with these rules, you can still use spell actions for non-structured time narrative effects as appropriate.
Yeah.
One, there is obviously utility, which in this case you may also just be able to, as a divine caster, may be able to send letters through a utility casting of just like, you know, you're a priest of Verna, you would probably like whistle up a passing dryad and be like, hey, can you deliver this for me? You knock on a tree thrice and it holds out a hand and you're like, the message will get where it needs to go. The trees will whisper it. Damn, Porter, you're hardcore. But you can also just use these things in a narrative context without worrying about the fine mechanics. So yes, you could absolutely just be like, hey, can I just conjure an animal to do me a solid? Yeah, sure. Roll some dice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you adjust the difficulty scale accordingly to how narratively difficult it is, not just how mechanically difficult it is.
That's right. That's why I wanted to get an item that lets me do fucking primal magic so I can get conjure.
Yeah, I think that was a artifact I built in already because I...
Damn it!
Well...
Oh, sorry.
I kind of knew you would want to do this because you've had Porter planned as a divine caster of Verna for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But also I think it just made logical sense. I think it's the Crown of Animals. There's a semi-generic artifact dedicated to Verna which lets you use conjure as a divine caster.
Mm-hmm.
How rude asking me what the heck I'm talking about. It's your fault. You don't ask me what the heck I'm talking about. You scrub back in the thing to understand the conversation point. You're 2 hours and 9 minutes late, Mr. Penguin. What do you have to say for yourself? Your essay is due on my desk by tomorrow morning. No.
Oh, no.
I slapped my knee just there. I don't actually know if that picked up. I kind of hope it did. It punctuated very well. But no, so the Crown of Animals, I think, is you can use Conjure only just summon animals, and they must be natural animals, not like weird elementals or zombos or whatever. But it also gives you some of the talents for primal that way effectively. Because obviously, being a primal caster who summons animals is kind of a build. Who isn't distracted by anime boobs? This reminds me to go double check my Twitter. Twitter's been being a little weird about auto updating for me. I have to like usually make sure to like bonk all the way up and refresh the page sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly what's happening right now is I am seeing Defunctland tweeting about there's a Fast Pass. He's still working on that Fast Pass episode, History of Fast Pass. That'll be fun when that comes out. But yeah, so you had a very cute, specific idea, and I was like, it's very specific. Like I said, I only brought it up because I was like, that's a very specific. Where did this come from?
No,
How did we get here? Well, you were bored and needed to think about stuff.
Yeah, no, well, like again, like Porter's kind of a serious character with not so serious goals and methods. Like, I'm trying to build this juxtaposition, like no, he wants to be a fucking harem protagonist, you know, culminating with him maybe getting to, you know, smash bodies with, you know, the fucking primary Earth goddess. But, you know, he's trying to go about it in a very serious route, but I want, like, his serious countenance to just be filled with comedic things.
Which benefits the general tone of the genre
Yeah.
and also the tone of Gensakai very well. You know,
yeah, because,
the tone is very deliberately, like, supposed to be non-serious.
Yeah, no, that's one thing, because, like, unfortunately, like, I built Porter to be kind of a serious character, so I'm trying to make the things around Porter to be kind of comedic and whatnot. Like, Porter has very many, like, I've actually come up with, like, oh, fuck, that's right, I like, did weird shit around here. I have very many weird stories about, like, Porter and, like, past things he's done. Like, the time he ran into an elf princess knight. The story of what did I call it? I can't remember. The story of, like, his first caravan trip. You know, like, a lot of stories that are just weird and funny, and like, you're like, did this happen to this serious pig boy? I don't fucking understand. And that's what I was thinking. It's all like, yes, this was the idea that came around this. It's like I could just, like, it could be interesting just to be like, you know, maybe summon a bird, you know, tie it to the leg, and, you know, just send it on the way. But I'm like, no, that's boring. Let's go with some bacon, and we'll make it entertaining. So yeah, it's a fucking boar. It's a fucking delivery boar. Who expects a delivery boar? Nobody.
Yep.
I am in the dark. I forgot the torch button. Where the fuck am I? Oh, there's light. Thank God. Am I there yet?
I didn't even remember. I don't think you ever said out loud what the torch button is, so I don't think I ever figured it out.
Okay, no, you hold shift, and because it's a torch, you have to hold it close to you. Okay. It was dark there for a second.
You have a traveling merchant upstairs, by the way. He's got some shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm too broke for that shit.
I am also too broke. I don't have any cash.
Like, I went all the way up there.
60
Ah!
gold pieces. He didn't bounce, everybody. He did not bounce.
Gravity.
Ironic.
Ugh.
I sold some crap.
But no, like, I gotta go all the way back.
It happens.
Some of my
Have we developed bed technology yet? I don't think so. I don't think we have a sawmill and a loom yet.
No, but the...
Wee! Run down the hill in the rain. Wee.
But also, like, with, like, Magic being so kind of open-ended, I did just want to, like, come up with spells that I would use on a semi-regular basis.
Yep. I believe that the game arguably encourages this.
Mm-hmm. And, like, aside from, like, you know, combat spells, I want to be able to, like, there's a lot of magics I just want to use in, like, you know, regular life. And, you know, being able to deliver my messages and packages to, you know, Porter's, Flowers of the Night, I will call them, and whatnot. Seemed like something that, you know, he would have planned out. But unfortunately, now that I realize that Conjure is not a thing, I have to think of something. Can I just have, like, a delivery boar whistle?
Possibly, we may actually work out a service. I'm wondering if I need to like. Now that you brought it up, it is mentioned that that isn't a thing the guild can do. But I'm wondering like, do I actually need to delve into the history of postage, figure out how message sending works? There are a couple of items I could probably discuss some stuff. I realize that I do need to put delivery on the chart of guild jobs.
Ah, yeah.
Because that I realized it was not on there already, and I'm like, nah, package delivery needs to go on there. I've got shit accounted for like escort jobs and like even shit that you're arguably less likely to do as an adventurer. Like just because I had the stats from Star Wars, I like mentioned stuff like material farming, raw labor, and stuff. The kind of truly zero sum jobs that adventurers do when they're down on their luck.
Yeah. Like, I think that's what I said. It's all like, oh, yeah, like, when you mentioned that when I found out, like, the guild, the hill done, I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like fucking baby's first job. Go deliver the fucking mail.
Very common basic job, yes.
But
when you're not doing pest control, which is explicitly outlined as one of the cheap things, keeping down vermin mobs, it's like probably delivering packages, hunting rats, escorting caravans, etc.
All right, so let us...
So I need to go, because there are some... R.I.P. Romy the Traveling Merchant. There are...
Got my gold back.
They're spread through a shitload of books, but there are a decent spread of, like, how to pay your players things in Star Wars, which Genesis is obviously built on a similar curve to, so that's where I get a lot of that stuff out of. So I can scooch that stuff in. And once again, I have to wonder, like, do I need deeper lore commentary on this? Like, how do people get around? It is mentioned explicitly, for instance, in the discussion of the Nef, because they are so nomadic and diasporad, they are heavily invested in pigeon mail, basically. Like, they have an affinity with certain animals, and they are big into pigeon mail delivery, so that means that them and their things. And now Aresh glows slightly as she walks by. Cool. So that's a source of mail. That would also mean probably pretty easily that, if Porter is an adventurer who gets around, he can probably know people who do pigeon mail. Like you mentioned. And like it, but think about like what is the history of like postage and package sending? Because obviously, being a anime inspired fantasy setting, everybody's literacy is probably better than their real world equivalent literacy was, as we discussed. If you're in the Middlelands, probably like I said, most people who live in a sizable enough city or town probably have some basic reading and writing education. Besides just like the kind of like typical religious stuff, because there are real world analogies with languages, obviously. Like your average human probably doesn't speak High Lemurian unless they live in New Lemuria. That's our Latin equivalent language, right? Where all the like religious texts and really old occult shit is written in. But they probably speak Common. And a lot of people speak Common, and then once you speak Common, you can probably figure out, not too hard once you know your alphabet, how to write Common. So, and I definitely think among adventurers, the Adventuring Guild literally has a written test, so you need to be able to read.
Oh, yeah.
So, in some form, or be so good at your other shit, you could fail the written and still get in. Sorry, hold mic up. I'm saying a lot of us, but I'm trying to think.
Oh, that's right.
I'm also slightly distracted because every time I try to sit alone by myself in my house and do the podcast, Aresh comes to come hide out in my house at night.
No respect, Aresh.
And constantly scooching around. But yeah, so like there are levels of mail thing, and there's a history of postage. I could probably figure out like a little bit about that as just another lore thing. I would just need to know where to put it in my fucking giant fluff list of fluffs. So much fluff. It would probably still be cultural based on a couple. I don't probably need to mention if elves do mail. Elves live forever and they're not in a hurry, so they probably just, if they need to go talk to somebody, they just go walk to the next forest over and are like, "Hey, how you doing? That took me like 3 weeks, but I'm gonna go home now. Bye. I'm 112. Dwarves probably have some ludicrous semi-steampunk bullshit involving, steam-powered pneumatic pipes and mine carts on rollers like Bossing Say in Avatar kind of shit. Those guys would be up to all that kind of nonsense. And then it's just a question of like, what's the most realistic and relevant way to handle? Well, not necessarily realistic, but genre appropriate, preserving verisimilitude, and being time and setting appropriate for like male systems for like human cultures and stuff. Katai has a giant bureaucracy, and Longu live very long. Or yeah, Longu, not Katai. Katai actually has a rating system though too. They probably have. They don't need male system. Katai has. They're horse people. Longu has the long. Liz has the bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's 9 o'clock at night. I think I slept maybe 6.5 hours. I literally couldn't go to bed until after the sun was coming up to do Let's Talk FGO because it didn't start and finish uploading. If you were a patron this morning, or the small hours of the morning, or last night, technically, I guess, depending on your time zone, you may have clicked on the video version early and noticed that there were my video description was I'll write a real description later. I'm a little low energy. I'm probably not gonna let this go on too much.
Yeah.
But I don't mind faffing out a little bit for the audience. Give you more views. Give us more views.
Please.
Views. I think if you're interested in Terraria, I don't know how good the quality is because they're fucking ancient. But Lucky did play some Terraria like long form Let's Play style on the channel before. Think we still have those uploaded?
I don't know. I think we got rid of those.
Did we get rid of them?
I think so.
They were kind of janky. I definitely know some of my old ones that I did a couple that I got rid of. We may or may not have those. I think you may have streamed Terraria before as well, though.
I might have, yeah.
If there's stream archives, those are probably still up.
Ooh.
We do also still have Lucky's full backlog of Stardew Valley, which isn't quite the same, but is kind of a similar. Yeah, probably. I know there was some Let's Play style stuff, which was some of the first content we did, along with his old Dead Space stuff, which I think we still have the Dead Space episodes.
I don't know.
Don't remember. I think we got rid of some of them because a lot of them were low quality and plagued by tech death.
Mm-hmm.
I can literally, I'm in a channel preview. I can literally pop open my channel, as YouTube calls it, your channel, and search it. Search Terraria. Yeah, no video hits anyway, but there are a couple of what's ups and stuff, so. Dead Space.
Are there frog people? I would say no, off the top of my head. I mean,
In what context?
Someone's asked if there was frog people or they have to be a reflavor or not if you like the wrong dude. I think.
There's a beastman. I think it's Anura type.
Oh, Anura.
There's amphibian beastman, yeah. Yeah, it looks like Dead Space is also not up anymore. Assuming the search feature works, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of weird side hits when I type stuff into our into channel search.
If need be, I could I'm for I actually do have Dead Space 1 through 3 on the PS3. Now I just have to figure out the fucking splitter, which I haven't done yet.
We need to work on it. That's a future project. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we got rid of your old Terrarias and Dead Spaces because Dead Space was kind of like half complete and shit. Because your BioShock playthrough is all up here still. Yeah, even though I think that had some sound balancing problems.
It did, but it's complete, so I think I was like, all right, I'll fucking leave it.
Yeah, let's see. What do we got? Let's Plays. You playing RE4?
Mm-hmm.
The Let's Play playlist is probably a huge mess. There's some Extella, there's some me doing that, there's some there's some game design tech, there's some BioShock. Okay, I think we did clean up some of the old Terraria stuff. You can still watch those Stardew. Those were more recent and better quality. And why the... Is it because YouTube audited that one? The Hecking Hedge Mazes one is like at the really bottom of the playlist. Why?
Hedge Mage?
Yeah, you. I think that was your number 3. Resident Evil 4 stream was like, or like Heckin' Hedge Mazes, and I'm like, why is this at the bottom of the Let's Play playlist? With some other garbo. I think I need to go in and audit that playlist. I'll remember that later. Mm-hmm. I'll pencil it in with other shit I got to do tonight. Like Lucky will want to go for the upload of the thing.
But no, like with Jinsekai, no, it's like I'm pinning a lot of hopes and dreams on Jinsekai, like a lot. Like there's a lot of things I want to do, a lot of things I want to experience. Because I think like I think I think I was talking about this. I don't remember with who, but I think it was with Axe and maybe some other people, like in like game design and stuff. It's like, and oh yeah, we were talking about it because I don't think it was because Axe had some questions about player interaction and whatnot, but I think it was like after a game, like man. But I was talking about
it was definitely Thursday or Friday because we were looking. Yeah, I think it may have been yesterday. We're looking around playing test games, and Axe kept trying to bring it up to the test game group, and we were like, no, talk about it in Secret Tabletop Cabal.
Yeah, but there's like we were talking about characters, and I was like, okay, Lucky's really easy to really be interested. Like the way I make my characters is all my characters, they're always kind of horny and they kind of want stuff. Always, it's how I am, and just trying to take that out of the game doesn't necessarily and well, wait, what was I gonna try to say? And taking that like if I was to try and take that out of my character, I'd have a weird time because this is a lot of slimes right here. They've just been hanging out. Just
may happen. You got a lot of water.
Yeah, and get. There we go. And like I said, so but usually even though Lucky is like I said, is usually horny on main, I try not to like necessarily bring that out in a lot of characters because there's always kind of that thing of to know the audience you're dealing with and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, I'll be a little horny on main, but I won't be like completely horny on main. Jinsekai is one of those things where it's like, no, I can be a little bit more horny main. I can be like stretch some creative muscles and stuff. I can try different things, try different stuff. Be a little bit of a gremlin, but not fully a gremlin. Also, this is like the game where I definitely said like, no, I am not being the fucking social lead.
Yep. I don't know who our social lead is. I don't know if they exist.
Funny how that is.
Also, I don't know what our actual team comp is. This is like, I know you said like you got a lot of hopes, and I kind of do too. Like I'm excited after all this fluff rating to actually like stretch out some of this stuff, but also I'm not upset about it or anything. Like it's cool to have lots of people interested in games. I've had problems, in the past when it's been just sometimes just been Yumi and Marth running games and stuff, like getting people in and getting the appropriate team comp. We talked about the other day about a Star Wars campaign that was fun, but it kind of died out because like I think we only had like 3 players maybe if Curbs was actually in it, and the player spread was not necessarily very new and diverse, so it was kind of like hard for you guys to do stuff because it was just kind of all right. Mars' character is a negotiator, like shoppy type guy. You were a face type soldier, so but you were mercenaries, right? But well, that's what I mean, Psyche. Like everybody is like, ooh, this is a cool thing. We love isekais, and I'm like, okay, hold on. First of all, there are like 80 of you mother. Are you gonna be free on the day that the people are gonna be free? And like with Jinsekai, the big thing is Lucky free. Because Lucky's the most enthusiastic about this. He has kept this fucking... It's like Mages of War. Lucky has kept my game design for Jinsekai alive by being interested in asking these kind of questions. So, like, Sunday's our current day because we record on Fridays and Saturdays. I don't know if, weekdays would work for short sessions or whatnot, but, like... So, that's my key thing, but I literally don't know if all these people who are excited to be here are gonna be in for it, and if they're gonna be acceptable, and if I'm gonna like them as players and all that other stuff. We will see what happens when we get to scheduling. You'll still have a decent chunk of Star Wars, even though, as we like to say, the end is in sight, but it's still quite a ways off.
You asshole! Get off my team. Get off my team. This is my spot.
Team problem?
No, I was checking the teams, and the rest drew on my team and immediately teleported to my secret hideout. The animal.
No team.
No team.
I'll also actually I don't know if you're. I wouldn't say you're not good at asking design questions. You are specific. I would say Lucky is broad. Like Lucky has specific fixations as well. Just talk about the board thing. But in general, if there is a blank space in the canvas, Lucky, you will ask a clarifying question.
Yeah.
Like if you stumble into an open space, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get in there, you know. And I'll ask what's up with this, and sometimes my answer is, oh, I haven't written that down yet, but here's my idea. And then sometimes, you know, I will be like, oh, I don't have any lore for that when I clarify down. Axe, you are more of like, I have a very specific idea in mind. I will ask questions until I drill down and I figure out what I would want to do with this idea, and even if I want to do with this idea, and then, you know, you've locked in the idea. I think this came up on air, what you talked about with relation to the game, the word that's like perseverance, but that I can't ever say. I've lived 28 years, I think, or like, yeah, I think I'm 20. Odd, but no, wait, no. I think I turned 20. Math.
Oh shit.
Curse you, numbers. But like the perseverance or whatever. No, it's a term I've never heard before, but apparently associated a lot with autism spectrum, which makes sense. But like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily got a negative connotation, but it doesn't have a positive connotation like persistence does. Like, it's not like calling somebody stubborn, and it's not like calling somebody like persistent or persevering. It's like sometimes, you know, you get a little focused, you get a little stuck on an idea, you kind of roll it over and over again in your mind or out loud. Axe. So that's like, I don't think that Axe doesn't ask questions or that he's bad at it, perseveration. But you ask very specific questions about the details you are interested in. Whereas Lucky will, like I said, ask broad questions about any little thing if he's curious. Because, you know, sometimes it's hypothetical character stuff, but sometimes it's just like, oh, hey, I noticed there's no fluff for this yet. What is this? And for me, that usually, like, either that is an excuse for me to be like, oh, well, I've thought of this already. Or it's like, oh, shit, I don't have anything for that. Well, now I have to think about what that answer is. Even if my answer to Lucky is, I don't know yet, that means that I had to think about what that answer is. So, you know, it kind of expands that way. Which is really good for, like, editing and you know, clarifying questions and stuff.
Yeah, I think, like, when I come to, like, design things, I usually don't worry too much about the details unless I need to worry about the details.
Yeah.
That's why I say, like, I have plenty of ideas for porters. I don't need to, like, run by Omega. It's like, no, I'm just gonna fucking do it. And if Omega doesn't like it, he'll tell me, and I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
and for the most part, you know, this is a light enough setting and loose enough that, you know, players can probably just run with a lot of their general ideas within the framework.
Yeah.
And you know, if there is a lore conflict, we can mention that when we actually, you know, do gaming with communication.
Because, like,
communication is key.
Like, honestly, because I don't want to bother, like, Omega with every single individual idea we have with Porter. That take up time and thinking, and sometimes he doesn't want to be fussed with it. Sometimes I don't want to be fussed with it.
And honestly, when doing like role-playing writing, you don't need to like preface every detail, right? Like, this came up in our conversation about players. Ideally, you know, gaming is kind of a conversation, and if you are doing work for players and you're trying to make material that your players are interested in interacting with, usually your first indication of that is their characters. What do their characters do? What kind of hooks do their characters give you to jump off of? And then you kind of like, you grab these hooks and pull on them to pull in the characters, and that pulls in the player, allegedly. There are a fair number of people who are role players with an E who are just here to roll dice and kill orcs. It happens sometimes, you know, they're here to turn their brain off. I can't say that I am really good at that. Even when playing very casual games about just booping snoot and doing stuff, there's usually a little bit of plot stuff and a little bit of investigation. Before Vesper was just too busy and stressed and had to take some time off from running D&D. That was like with us. Like, everybody had basic backstories, some of which we filled out ourselves, some of which, you know, Vesper like asked us quietly about. And like, it just so happened that in our adventure we like stumbled, you know, feet first into my character backstory first, and that became a very heavily influenced point. But, you know, as we went on, we went through other stuff. Dallas is really a complex, weird backstory. It became a major point. Stuff like that, you know, other characters kind of back and forth. So that I think is pretty key, but you don't need to run everything back and forth so much, like, because you don't need to excessively give hooks to your game master, right? Like, and that's the focus of I think, introducing plot points. Like, Lucky has ideas for, like, anecdotes or stories or just role-playing tips he can bring up.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff he doesn't have to mention to me necessarily all the time, because those aren't hooks. That's, it's more like a flavor, more like a spice, you know? That spices up your roleplay with NPCs or with other PCs. It sounds like a lot of the ideas you've had so far talking about, like, the little things you've been thinking of. That kind of stuff, like, yeah, there's no reason for me to get in there, because I don't need to, like, I don't necessarily need to pull on those, like, big hooks, because I know what Porter's big hooks are already from understanding his character backstory.
Yep.
He's a pork. He's a priest of Verna. He used to be a higher level adventurer until he took an arrow to the knee, metaphorically, a metaphysical arrow. So he has a lot of, like, life experience, but not a lot of character experience. And that's kind of like, and then there's the player hooks, like you talk about, like talking about being a little bit horny and a little bit wanting stuff. I'm like, okay, it's good. I know what Lucky will appeal to. There's a cute elf girl with a shiny sword. I'm there. Lucky's there. He's there already. He's in there.
I'm in it.
The goblins have stolen the local noble's sick crown of animals. Lucky's like, shit, I need that. That's for my build. It's very D&D. Wait, shit, I need that magic item for my build. Only you would say that in character in Gensekai.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, I need that. Part of my build. I need that item. And the other guys, are you sure? I'm like, do any of you look like priests of Verda? You need an artifact? No. Like adventurers discussing the quote-unquote random drops, even though loot isn't truly random. Materials can be randomized, and sometimes random monsters can spit out magic items, probably. They're arranged by a mysterious force who builds your universe around you. What could it be? When you stare into the abyss, the game master stares back. But yeah, so, like, small stuff you don't need to bring up to your GM all the time. And I like, when he says, oh, I didn't bother making that. I'm like, yes, that sounds about right. There's nothing to be bothered about it, you know? It's just kind of a casual light thing. And if it turns into something I can use as a hook later, then I can just wait until you bring it up, and then I can be like, aha, grab that hook, yoink. And now that you've brought up, like, the letter thing, like, if I ever needed to pull Porter in a direction to magically move you across the continent because my setting is very loosey-goosey and I may have, other weird sequence of events. We have a lot of quiet fighting about art dump and other stuff.
Are
that
people
definitely goes in hella low.
Are people done bitching again?
No, nobody's bitching right now. An item definitely got moved that I don't know if it needs to be moved, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to fuss about it. People self-moving to, like, hella. It's all weird. And by it's all weird, I mean that I will call out Discard. He is the only one who does weird things with art dump and hella, and I don't... Everybody else seems not a problem. Though... I admit, there may be problems in, like, 6 hours while I am asleep if my other mods are not around to enforce stuff. But, you know, that's a problem with not reporting moderation problems mods can take care of. Anyway, I don't want to start a whole thing. But art dump is occasionally a clusterfuck. Primarily, that's my primary reason for moderation is I would like it to not be a clusterfuck. I will not embrace the clusterfuckiness. I will make it not clusterfuck. That is within my power. But yeah, communication.
Communication.
It's very important. So that's kind of like the thing where, like, what's open to you? You know, we casually talk about this stuff, but I think all the details I need to pull on Porter's plot hooks. I don't know if I have details I need for other people, but we would probably be session steering at this point because, like I said, I just don't even fucking know who the group is. Like, I have quite a few people who have expressed interest and have even, like, got character ideas, so I would have to, like, figure out, like, I I think Loth said that he was going away, but he came back recently. Like Loth, for instance, is like, I'm kind of interested, but I'm not super sold. If there's a shitload of people, I'll bow out. And I'm like, that's okay. I appreciate that, Loth. I appreciate that you're like, if you got a lot of people, I won't force myself in. I don't know if other people who've expressed interest will be that, what's the word, accommodating?
Yeah, that's the word.
On the other hand, I know that I have access to Kronos' razor in the form of scheduling. I may or may not shave some people off the list with the schedule problem. Because, you know, time is complex and we got a lot of adults and stuff. Martha's in a similar position. I don't think he's, like, super enthused, but, you know, he's been with us a long time. He doesn't mind exploring and stuff. He's got some ideas, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it shakes out, but we got a lot of Star Wars to work through. As usual, yelling about Gensekai, I think, added, like, 30 minutes to the show.
Yeah, it does that.
But the other thing is that usually, because a lot of it's hypothetical, that usually gets us in the hypothetical discussion sphere talking about the greater tabletop ethos, which I think is important sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I know we do have a decent number of people who, if not found us through APs, do actually occasionally listen to the APs and stuff. You know, I've heard several people talking about going back through Star Wars and other stuff. So it's a good talk about. So the die trader has arrived. I'm very curious where the room to fit a die trader appeared.
It better not be here.
He might have. Did you build a wall and some...
I did, but I destroyed my room temporarily to do it because the demolition moved on. The demolition has moved down here.
Yeah, if you broke it and fix it, it would be space.
Oh, it's at spawn? Okay. Well, no, like
it's
yeah, they all show up at spawn, but well, actually no, the demolition is showed here, but
no, that's my subtle jive about where the other room came from. Since I haven't built any extra rooms, I've been sitting in my base with like these two fucking vultures that I'm gonna assume Aresh probably winged, which is why they've taken damage and thus won't despawn and won't fuck off. There's like 3 vultures hovering over my head, over my roof. So I don't know. The guide's outside right now. He might have gone outside and shot them like an asshole. Thanks, Steve. But I've been sitting for the past 20 minutes.
I've been slowly building.
Yeah, I can see that. You got a nice little hidey hole down there. You got some nice walls. Cool. You got a weird glowing thing I don't remember you putting up? But, yeah. Where was Guy? Oh, yeah, I think we were winding down. But, yeah, basically, we've had a couple of these off and on conversations about, role-playing and stuff and design and stuff. It's good because obviously we have kind of a diverse group. We talk to some people who aren't in our main game. I know Axe is running his own Lancer game, so sometimes he has thoughts and feelings and stuff. I'm sure he doesn't have. Well, I know he does not have as much experience GMing as I do. So like sometimes there's some advice back and forth. The hooks are important. You want to get the players invested, and sometimes when the players aren't invested, that means something falls flat. That's kind of bad for everybody. I think Lucky is usually a pretty good player because usually if you see a hook that I throw out, you're like, ooh, hook.
Yeah.
Even if the hook is, a big, shiny, spiky, barbed hook, you're like, ooh, a hook. Neat.
I'm going to touch it. You probably shouldn't touch it. I'm going to touch it anyway. Okay.
So, if I throw out the material, I can usually get Lucky. Also, Axe is very good about biting into hooks sometimes, and sometimes I think a little excessively. Like there's explicitly optional content, and sometimes Axe will be like, "But I kind of want to do all the stuff you wrote," and I'm like, "Well, don't worry about it. I wrote this stuff to be optional. It's okay. You don't have to do all the bits. I'll recycle anything I don't use." Great GMing tip, by the way. If the players don't find something, cycle it and go put it somewhere else. Reuse, reduce, recycle. But yeah, so we have these conversations, and I think that actually stresses out because we've been doing gaming a while. Everybody involved, different things, different points, so it kind of works together. Jinsekai will hopefully be fun. I think I've talked about this before. It's I have very loosey-goosey ideas about what I would do. I have a reason for everybody to be together. I have an idea for a place, and maybe not railroad. Like actually, probably throw up maybe some like different sub ideas. You guys can mull around and find different things and kind of explore the space at first, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
See what people are interested in, see what hooks they bite on, as it were, and then kind of go from there and build probably like minor interconnected quest lines and kind of like hit up some key locations and other fun stuff, and also playtest things. I have not chipped away at my adversary's block in a while. I can cycle back to that when I feel like it. Yeah, no big rush right now. Like I said, Star Wars has got a lot of stuff, and because we're actively playing that game, that has my prio for writing, obviously. We may or may not take like an extra week break because I may need to focus on writing a lot of little fiddly bits for the next bits, but that'll be probably a month away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, assuming you don't do the optional stuff, we'll probably finish the weird desert adventure tonight. Mm-hmm. Not tonight, tomorrow. It's not the next day yet, but the next night. That should probably fit in one session, assuming like we don't all like explode or be low energy or something. And then you may or may not do the optional bit for that, but then when we return back, there's one more in that cycle, and then I have a rough idea for a more limited line. That may be a little fiddly, like I said, because that's the idea is that the players are about to like advance on the Separatist base, and they're going to go through kind of like node by node, very TAC map type stuff. You're going to advance the campaign, so you're going to advance along these lines, and as you advance on the lines, you unlock new things further down the line, but also you will want to probably go deal with these different things and how they kind of interconnect. So I may actually need a little bit of pre-planning time to like write down all the connections and how that works out. In that case, we may take a break for a couple of weeks and go back to the Sprawl, because I had my idea for another Sprawl job like immediately after we finished the first. Mm-hmm. So if people are okay to take a quick Sprawl break, we could take a couple weeks off for Sprawl while I sketch out my Star Wars ideas and come back. We'll see how that shakes out. That's still, like I said, several weeks away and other rating involved. But now that I've talked your ears off about some other rando nonsense. Also, yeah, you haven't. It's much more compact, the Sprawl. It was kind of in the middle of Star Wars, but if you go to our APs, look up the Sprawl. We've got technically 3 sessions because we did a 0 for world building, and then we did 2 parts to the actual job. Mm-hmm. So there's a few hours of entertainment there that should hopefully be entertaining. You can check out. Get all into that. Or says he's down for the Sprawl break. But I think we should probably skedaddle out of there. I've literally been sitting in my house.
There's a rabbit.
Fucking Steve keeps sitting in my chair, scooching me over.
I'm gonna catch this rabbit.
Axe is very enthusiastic about Thirsty Sword lesbians, and I'm sorry that I brought it up to him because he won't shut up about it. Because I don't think we're gonna do that right away. But also, no, I'm not. That game is probably amazing. I'm not shortchanging that. No, that'll be a campaign. Powered by the Apocalypse games are usually shorter run campaigns anyway, by virtue of their mechanics. Your characters being forced to retire after so many advancements, for instance. You kind of force them into shapes. Also, no, it's really funny. I'm kind of sad you guys can't see this. Like, there's one chair in my house. I think there's a mechanic to like Steve sits in the chair that I'm already sat in, so he like pushes me to the side even though this is a one-man chair. It's like I'm like sitting on the arm of my chair and Steve is in my chair, and I'm like, what the fuck, Steve? Maybe I'll take a screen cap and post it to Twitter. I'll do my own tweeting. But like, no, powered by the Apocalypse systems like Apocalypse World, like Monster Hearts and stuff, they lend themselves to basically being short campaigns because the advancement system shakes out that way. You can obviously do like seasons or whatever of stuff, and you can kind of break it up. But like, there's a very natural curve. I think those games don't really go longer than like a dozen sessions or more, etc. Without you kind of hitting the stat bloat problem we talked about with like 14 earlier. Like you go too far, your characters get kind of weird and bloaty, and you got to kind of shake some stuff out.
Yeah.
But I think that is a good windy down. Put this in. But I think that's our good windy down point. So we can probably go ahead and, slightly under 3 hours, go ahead and wrap up the episode so I can edit and post this audio and probably run back and do Zelda. I'm going to get some dinner first. Might reorganize my shelves, but then probably go play some Skyward Sword.
I'm probably going to go play more Bloodstained and completely destroy it all. All of it. I have goals.
Yeah, I know they've the Prague Cabal has broken up, but maybe if these guys are still around and want to still test some games, I can get back. Well, but I'll see what happens. I'll probably just casually play a couple hours of Zelda, and the guys will like show up and be like, "Yo, test decks," and I'm like, "All right, I'll test some decks." I've got some things. I think I know what my well, I probably know what deck I'm going to run this week is, but I'm also fairly certain I know exactly what I'm going to run for week 40. Hopefully, I get the cards I need in the next set we open. It's going to be fun. I will give no previews and no warnings. I will only exist to remind them. Actually, the thing I'm literally going to do next after we finally... I do the outro. That's on me. But after I start the outro, assuming that Lucky has no further things to talk about, but I don't think he does, because there's been several awkward pauses where you've been like, oh, shoot, I don't have anything to talk about. We'll have stuff. Don't you worry. Let me freak this screenshot real good. Let me get this demon eye in this screenshot.
There's a lot of cleavage, but there's no actual nips. I'm retweeting it on this account. Yeah.
That's the rules. I love this screenshot, too. If you pull this up, it almost looks like I'm giving Steve the side eye. Steve? Buddy? There's only room for one of us in this chair?
Clearly, you just need to make another chair.
Hey, Leon's... yeah, I will eventually, I'm sure. I need to make a second level of this, but I've been busy talking, and it's constantly night. Also, where did these bats come from? These jungle bats by my house? Who's done this? Whomst? It's okay. I'm safely inside my house. The jungle bats can't get me. I got my eyes. But let's wrap up. What I was going to say was the immediate thing I'm going to do after I actually do that is I will edit the table for payment scale in Gensekai. Later, I will debate if I need more fluff sections on communication. It would probably be more compact to talk about that in the Adventurers Guild summary area. Because some of that is probably run through them, because the Adventurers Guild has a vested interest in everybody communicating and being friends, because they're kind of responsible for making sure this whole Forces of Darkness thing doesn't fuck everybody up. Got shit to do. But speaking of shit to do, I think that is a perfect time to go ahead and wind down and do the outro. Do you agree, Lucky?
I agree.
All right, let's segue. So, first of all, if you like this stream, go ahead and give it a like. Currently, we have 13 viewers and 13 likes, so you're fine there. You're off the hook, chat. Good job. Gold stars all around. Golf clap. If you're watching this later, do please make sure to give us a like as well. Feed your algorithmic gods, as some YouTube channels say. If you want to leave any comments, you can leave in the comment section down below. Or join our Discord. The link is, as always, in the description and on the channel page. Oh, it reminds me, I need to change our link dump template, because we've got a vendor URL for our Discord now. Do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll remember to do that. But yeah, link in the description and our channel page is a little Discord icon. You can join our Discord. We have access to like little certain role highlights that we're probably going to work on some stuff on. We have stickers now. The thread system is enabled. Nobody's really tried it out yet, but we do have a system for like sub-threads if you get on a weird discussion point. Pretty neat. Check out Discord. It's cool. Discord doing stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can always get our latest videos and streams. Join our sub squad. Get in there. Lots of future content. Catch up with what's up. Make sure you're tuned in for streams. Let's Take FGO, Prague, and more. And even if you're already subscribed, make sure to hit that bell for notifications so you always know when we're posting a video or when we stream. You want to catch up in the on the Monday streams for Bloodstained, ring that bell. You'll know. Technically, you may need a reminder. Lucky has got me starting streams a little earlier on Monday because it fits his schedule a bit better. So yeah, thumbs up. Let's see. Oh yeah, memberships is next. You can join our channel membership as well. There's a join button below or a link in the description. Get access to membership badges and emotes. Usually a kind membership will post all the emotes we can post when I bring this up. So you can see in the chat log. Yay, membership emotes. There we go. Thank you, Carlos. Lovely little emotes, yes. Not just in live chats, you can also add the emotes in comments if you're a member of the channel. It's good. Great stuff. And, of course, though, as we said at the front of the episode, you can also support us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes in audio format, downloadable for as little as $1 a month or approximately $10 a year. At higher levels, get access to videos early, topic polls, other fun stuff. Just record Let's Talk FGO live, other shenanigans, and it really helps support us. That is the outro. This has been What's Up